They're ready to go in there.
Well, wouldn't you be too? They've been listening to us for an hour.
All the anticipation, right? They see the duck. They're waiting on Odie Fro. Taste of the talk.
So what's going on in the fantasy world today?
I just couldn't grab that coffee from Heidenreich earlier, and I needed a refill.
All right. Yeah. All right.
I was like, why is it echoing like that out there?
I'm good to go. Bulldog, it should be up and running.
Okay. You're not high.
Oh, good times. Good morning, y'all. All right. Welcome to Bulldog Trading. I'm going to bring Nunya in. And myself in. Hope everyone got to hear our wonderful back chatter there. How you doing today, Nunya? Oh, I think Nunya's froze. We got mic issues, Nunya.
Wayne, Caesar,
There we go.
Crypto for us all. Sitting here low key, Christopher Colvin, Bust Heads, Wushu,
Blizzard, good morning, Mitchell. Glad to see everybody here. That's awesome. Thank you for sticking around through all that.
your patience.
The party got to me. It was all Odie Fro's fault. I will take all the blame for everything this morning. Feel free to load it upon my shoulders.
Cheers. I see that coming across, Caesar.
Definitely. Cheers. MIA will be joining us shortly. He's just getting everything ready. If you guys have any questions, as always, hit us up with them. I know there was a couple games yesterday. We'll go over a little bit of those recaps here in a little bit, and we'll check out some of the weather for the rest of the day today. I think some of the games got moved to Tuesday. I honestly didn't pay too much attention to those games that got moved, so we'll have to get that covered, figure out whose games were affected, if your fantasy playoffs were affected, if you're in those. And some leagues will be finishing up, especially our pro league here at Bulldog Trading. Be finishing up their regular season this week, so make sure you get your rosters set and get the best week you can get so you can get in those playoffs. Richard of Carver, good morning. Hi, Cassie. Drinking my coffee hard this morning.
It was a late night, everybody. I'm glad saw a lot of the same people this morning that we saw last night. Had a good time.
I'm looking forward to seeing everybody this week during trading week when I'm at home. This is going to be fun. I haven't got to do this for a little while. We'll have some fun this week. You guys are going to get annoyed by me in the chat early in the morning. Just like, why is he still talking? Go away.
Short week, we'll take advantage.
We'll see. We'll see what happens in the week. We got to take advantage of this football, though, this first. It's going to be an interesting day today. Did you see that the Colts beat the Patriots last night and put my Chiefs in control of the entire AFC right now? Just going to smile a little bit.
Another strong Jonathan Taylor night. No surprise.
Right? I don't want to see the Chiefs play the Colts in the playoffs. The Chiefs always lose to the Colts in the playoffs. We've beaten them once in like 20 years, and that's it. I don't want Jonathan Taylor. No, I don't want none of that smoke. I guess they were asked after the game, Jonathan Taylor was trying to play the teammates of that receiving.
Super chat.
And it's true, the linebackers right now, they're unbelievably fast, they're unbelievably strong, they've hit harder than they've ever hit before, and a running back to be putting in this right now is amazing. Bulldog, thank you for that super chat. Thank you so much. Mitchell Wayne, you should have been here last night. With that message, you should have been here last night. The party was popping.
I've seen some of those games. There's a lot of Odie going around in those games.
Yeah, Enzo would have had fun with that comment last night. Malachi 1476. So look, I'm in first place. I'm 11-3, and I got 4 running back picks. Pick 2: Rashad Penny, Devonte Freeman, AJ Dillon, or Myles Gaskin. That's a good question to start with too, because we will be getting right into our running back. So Nunya, go ahead and get into 2 of those, and then I'll give my answer on those.
So I would certainly take Gaskin first for sure against the Jets. He did well, pretty good the last time they played, and he has been coming as of late. His last 4 or 5 weeks in their win streak, he's been doing great. He's been getting some passes. He's been the running back. So he would be my for sure guy. Penny had a really good week last week, so I probably would lead to him. Definitely take out Dillon. So between Rashad Penny and Devonte Freeman, my choice, I guess, would be Penny. Mm-hmm. So I go Myles Gaskin and Rashad Penny. How about you?
I'm probably going AJ Dillon just because I like they've been running him heavy, even with the return of Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
Aaron
Jones.
Jones.
What scared me a little bit was Aaron Jones, but you're right. He does get a bulk. He gets a lot of carries.
For about the last 3 weeks, he's had a nice amount of carries, and he's done well with them. I do like Myles Gaskin back in the lead position there, and then Rashad Penny looked good, but I think I got to go with Deontay Foreman and A.J. Dillon. I like Tennessee trying to get back into the run game. Baltimore, sorry. Freeman, Foreman. Which one am I getting mixed up? Freeman, Foreman. Foreman's Baltimore, Freeman's Tennessee, Baltimore. I got that right, Nunya?
Yes.
Oh, crap. Now I'm brain farted. I got to check on that.
Devontae Freeman's the Baltimore guy.
Yes. That's what I like. Because they did go back to Latavius Murray, though, now that I think about it last week. They did give him a little more carries. Dylan Gaskin. I talked myself out of that one. Yeah. I like Gaskin. He's the number one guy.
He's the number one guy. They're going against the Jets. They may be up by a bunch, and it's so hot in Miami. The Jets aren't used to it. I was just there, trust me. Really hot and humid.
That's right. You were just in Miami. This is true. Yeah, I got to go Gaskin and Myles. Or Myles, Gaskin, and Dillon, sorry. You can see my reading comprehension skills are not great this morning. But thank you for that question.
See that little ROC reading comprehension there for you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go by that, but yeah, got you, bud.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I just, yep. I see ya, ROC. I see ya. Bulldog, thank you. I got that message. I think MIA might have had to run and grab a new coffee and walk them dogs. So he'll probably be joining us back here in a little bit. But Malachi,
right now.
Oh, look at that perfect time.
Take a look at a little weather quick.
Yes, we do need to do that. I just want to say thank you, Malachi, for that question. I hope we helped you out there. And if you got any more, we'll be around here all day until about 30 minutes before kickoff. All right. Bring in the MIA and all that Raiders gear. They moved that game to Tuesday. Is that right?
Monday.
Is it like...
Monday.
Oh, is it a double header?
There are 2 games on Tuesday.
I think it's early. Yeah, then there's 2 games Tuesday, right?
Okay. So we'll have games during poker night, probably. Try to figure out a way to get those streaming. All right, let me bring up weather here for us, guys. We'll do a little weather dip. All right. How's it in your guys' neck of the woods? Out here at KC, we don't have a game going on. It's pretty nice, but got 2 games in the dome this week. Cowboys up in New York, 38 and overcast, kind of cloudy. Doesn't look like it's 14-mile winds again up in how's it go, Nunya? East New Rutherford.
East Rutherford, New Jersey.
There we go. Okay. Titans are joining the Steelers up in Pittsburgh today. 32 degrees, freezing, 8-mile-an-hour winds. We got Texans going down to Jacksonville, the Urban Meyerless Jacksonville Jaguars now. 70 degrees with 10-mile-an-hour winds. We all knew that was coming. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. I want to get into that, even though it's not really fantasy related. Packers, Ravens, 40 degrees, 13-mile-an-hour winds, a little overcast. The Bengals are going to Broncos, so watch for good kicks maybe up that way today. Light wind, 58 degrees. So long kicks could be in play up there. Falcons, 49ers, 49 degrees, 4-mile-an-hour winds. Saints going down to Tampa, 72-mile-an-hour winds, 72 degree temps, 5-mile-an-hour winds. I'll get it on the fourth try. Las Vegas, I don't know if these dates were updated yet, guys, so I don't know if we can go with the rest of these ones. That Raiders game, 5 p.m., I'm assuming that's the Monday update to 12.
It is, yep.
Yeah, that's like it's going to be 42 degrees on Monday. The Bears game, 34 degrees and 9-mile-an-hour winds on Monday as well, I believe. And then these are the Tuesday games now. Washington Eagles, 39 degrees, 2-mile-an-hour winds, and Seahawks, Rams in a dome.
And those are both at the same time on Tuesdays. Both
really?
7 o'clock. Yeah, both at 7 o'clock.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Hey, low-key Caesar C, Richard Carver. I am feeling fantastic this morning. Had a great time last night. Made it home safe. Made it up this morning. Feeling good.
Mitchell Wayne, yeah, you did. Yes, you did.
Brody Fro. You do a lot of stuff behind the stream, Odie Fro. Then you mess it all up. I'm sorry. You guys, we're going to ask that we do a mind erase on this morning show, and you just go, meh.
Yeah, these aren't the droids you're looking for.
That's right. All right, so let's get back to, we'll start out with our running backs here today, guys. We've seen that weather. You know what, before we do that, let's talk about the Urban Meyer situation. Let's get that knocked out of the way. Urban Meyer had some misfortunes a couple weeks ago that didn't get him fired. Then all of a sudden, this report comes out of him kicking a kicker or something, slapping a kicker upside the head, whatever. And the team fires him with cause. And it's like, why didn't they fire him before? Now they fired him without cause. So it was like, were they going to fire him this whole time, but they were just waiting for a team-registered thing so that they could actually do it because the other thing happened in a bar? But like when he didn't come home on the bus, I would have fired him with cause right then and there when he sat at the bar and he didn't ride with the team bus back to the team after a loss. But now we got another team in limbo, just like the Raiders, that are going to probably be in limbo for 2 more years because of this. And this is bothersome. You got a brand new drafted quarterback down there who's basically going to be an infant for the next 2 years because of this in the NFL brain, of it, because it's just going to be new offense coordinators, new strategy, everything. So what are you thinking about Jacksonville players? What do you think about the whole situation? Either one of you can go on this one. This is a freebie toss-up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they finish out the season because you see, especially the first week after a coach is gone, you sometimes see the players rally and come out and make a statement, and won't be that hard against Houston. So
next year, are you going to be drafting any Jacksonville players? Like, I won't be drafting any Jacksonville players probably next year unless they come out with like the lights coach grab, the greatest coach grab ever. Like,
yeah, it really depends on what direction they go.
Every single Jacksonville player is going to be just a free agent pickup next year. Like, Marvin Jones is still on the list in the 19th round.
I mean, we've seen this team in turmoil before, with when Fournette was there. Uh-huh. And just more of the same from that organization in my eyes.
I wish Shad Khan would sell him.
Yeah.
Really
What's your thought, Nunya?
You were just down in Florida. Did you feel anything out while you were down there? People hating on Jacksonville? Oh, we're getting the evil stare.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Am I back?
You're back. You're good.
You're back.
We were here.
Here, let's hit this question real quick from Dan Mangello. Can you pick one? Galladay, Boyd, or Anderson? That's a deep one.
I like Boyd. I like any receiver on that Cincinnati team not named Chase because I know they're getting action on all the way around, but I also like Chase. So you're still gonna get third.
Yeah, I'm not really liking, if that's Robbie Anderson, I'm not really liking Buffalo.
True.
Galladay
And
at
you don't
home
know who's
against
throwing
Dallas.
to Galladay. Daniel Jones is done for the year. I don't trust anybody else. So by default, I guess Boyd.
Yeah. Or Anderson if you think that backup quarterback's going to throw to him, because Anderson's had a little stepping out party the last couple weeks where they suddenly started remembering his name and he's been getting looks, but I still don't count on him as more than 5 targets a game. Like, I don't think he's
Yeah, but chew on this, Odie Fro. The Bills haven't allowed a wideout touchdown since week 1.
Yep.
And they've let just one visiting wideout clear 62 yards in a contest.
Can I guess who that was? Was it one Tyreek Hill? We lost.
Did they play in Buffalo?
I think we did. We lost that game, but I think Tyreek was the one. Mitchell Wayne, you need to get in touch with Richard of Carver and get that band started. I was talking to him about that last night. We're going to try to get you guys a page in the Discord where you all can join together and Kale and everybody can play. Well, we'll talk about
That'd
that.
That'd be
awesome. Maybe we can get Bulldog in there with a saxophone. Just saying. NFL is so scripted, Michael McDurry says. That's just like markets. That's why brokers attribute the bets on the weekends. Or arbitrate their bets. All right. I gotcha. Thank you, Michael. I kind of agree with you there. It's not scripted, but I do think that they mess with their bets here on the weekends. They know what they're doing. Let's see. So we got the Jacksonville situation under. You guys ready to move into running backs?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do it.
All right. You know how we do. Where's that thing?
Don't forget to hit that like button for us, guys.
Yes,
please.
Definitely do. And we'll all be here 24/7. Just to let you guys know, we do have a short week in the trading week this week, so make sure you're here with us on the channel. We'll get you through everything, get you through all the crypto. MI will be joining you tomorrow morning. We'll get you through all the week. Birdie will be here first thing in the morning, actually, and then MI will be joining you. But make sure you're following all week long.
Yeah, early day. The market closed Friday, and early day Thursday closes at 2.
Yes, sir. All right. Is it showing? Yeah, you guys got the recap now. So we got last week, Dalvin Cook put up 34 points. I don't know yet if he's going to play. I know he came out questionable again at the end of this game. They've got Madison, so if you're a Madison holder going into the playoffs, you might be paying close attention to that one. What are you guys' thoughts holding Dalvin Cook through the playoffs and running him? Of course, he's an always starter, but I'll start with you, Nunya. How do you feel like week 15 looking at a Dalvin Cook that maybe hurt? Maybe he's not going to be at 100%, but what are you feeling on Dalvin Cook through a playoff run?
I think if and when they decide to let him suit up, they lean like 90% on him. They don't go to Madison much when he plays, and he seems to be pretty good with that shoulder harness. He doesn't drop the ball, so when they let him play, they really lean heavy on him. He's not a 50-50 split guy. Although Madison's proven he can carry, it seems to me like when Cook's in there, if they decide to let him play, he's the guy. So, but that's all the more reason why you need to keep both on your roster if you can, and that game time decision is super critical. So I like having him, but he's a must-have handcuff Madison guy.
Yeah, I agree. And it looks like he's going to play, fully participated in practice yesterday and is not on the injury report. So I think it's if you have Madison, it's boom or bust. I don't think you play him as with Cook active because they're going to lean on Cook, and I think they do that on purpose. I think this way, if Cook goes down, he can pick up the workload. They're not doing a 50-50 split, any kind of split over there. If Cook's on the field, they're going to hammer the ball with him.
They have a better game plan around Cook than they do Madison. They have to change their entire. They appear to change their entire game plan when they go to Madison. They go to 2 tight ends. They lose that third wide receiver. You barely see Thielen. There's another questionable thing that changes the game plan this week if Thielen makes it back or not. But
yeah.
Yeah, I do see what you guys are both saying, though, because when Dalvin Cook is on the field and playing and they play him as the feature back, their games are so much cleaner, they're so much better. But when they do the little half and half swap where they're trying to nurse Dalvin back in, they look lost. They're just out there, and they don't score, they don't move the ball, they punt a bunch and stuff. So I hope Dalvin Cook owners get to use him every week through the playoffs. They don't have any more injuries the rest of the year, because he can carry you through a playoff run if you have him. It's like an Alvin Kamara too. Alvin Kamara's on your roster through a playoff run and he's healthy. You can count for 15 touches, passing, and run. He can carry your team through a playoff, and that's what I hope for players with that. All right, Rashad Penny here. The Seahawks have been doing the running back swap. This kid kind of just came out of nowhere. You know, that they were able to get him points. He slowly stepped up the ladder, but they just signed Adrian Peterson. It failed. And then during that time, they handed the ball to Rashad Penny, and now Penny picks it up and starts taking it. Do you see him doing this? Can you count on this, or is it just muffled? You know what I mean? Is it just something that happened up there? Go to MIA first.
I think it's just something that happened. I don't know if we'll see this continued output.
Yeah.
I'm not sold. If I'm in the playoffs right now, or I'm gearing up for the playoffs, I'm not looking to have any Seattle running back on my team. You know, he had a great week, but I'm not riding that. What about you, Nunya?
Yeah, I'm not sold. I think he got a couple of good holes and really took advantage of it. Their offensive line hasn't been able to let anybody run this year.
Right.
Much tougher matchup this week in LA against the Rams.
That's tough.
And they know his name now. He's not an unknown that they're not really just like, oh, whatever, who's this little guy? It's, you know what I mean? Now they know.
And little guy, he's made of glass. He gets hurt a lot. So wouldn't surprise me if he's in and out in the first quarter.
Now, if I'm holding him, I would have looked to get rid of him after last week. If for some reason you had him and you had that big week, I wouldn't look for it to repeat. I would maybe try to get a trade, maybe get something out of him.
Real quick, Alex Train came in with a question. Yo, who would you start as a flex? Zeke, Devontae Parker, Ayuk, or Pollard?
I would go Devontae Parker, I think. Waddle's out, right?
Waddle's out.
Waddle is out.
I think I would go Devontae Parker.
As a flex, he gave you 2 of the Dallas running backs there. I'm picking one of the Dallas running backs and going. I think I'm probably going Zeke. Dallas needs a win. They need to try to lock up a playoff spot. Pollard's been getting most of the stuff, and I know I've been a Pollard fan, but I just think Zeke has to get a game today. He has to get it going, so I'm probably going Zeke on that one.
That could be tough. That could be a true 50-50 split there with them today, and probably whichever one gets in the end zone. As far as Zeke or Pollard, I think has the bigger fantasy day.
Ayuk could have a big day. The 49ers have been using both those receivers as running backs. If you guys didn't know, there's a little thing going around right now that Deebo Samuel could be the first player since the NFL merger to lead his team as a running back as a wide receiver. So
that's crazy.
They've been doing that a lot, and Ayuk's been part of it too. So Ayuk's got his own positive, point positivities that you could go with there. Nunya, which way are you floating on those?
The Giants are an entire mess this week on defense. Their secondary, their linebackers are kind of smallish. Their secondary is all out. They don't have anybody healthy, even on their practice squad, so we can get into it. But of 6 defensive backs, safeties, and corners on the active roster, and 5 on the practice squad, they have 3 that can play today. So there isn't going to be much run support. So although Waddle's out, and I'd like to go Devontae Parker, I'm flipping a coin between Zeke and Pollard, and I tend to think Pollard might get a little more receptions.
Yeah, we're both
Yeah,
going
the
the
Giants
Dallas
are
route at least. Yeah.
Go the Dallas route.
Caesar C saying Edmonds, Penny, Singletary, or Sanders.
Okay.
Man.
Edmonds hurt me last week, and then they went to Connor, and Connor established himself. So I don't think Connor's going to lose that running back position or the amount of carries anymore the rest of the season for them. I think they keep him in a position because he caught the ball well. That's my opinion on that Arizona one. Penny, Singletary, or Sanders. I'm probably going Sanders, man. Maybe Singletary. If I was listing them, Sanders, Singletary, Edmonds, Penny. That's the way I would put them for me. Sorry.
I think Edmonds will still have a role over there, and I think Connor has touched the ball so many times since Edmonds has been out that if Edmonds comes back, they were talking about bringing him back last week. Then they ended up not bringing him back, but it was funny that they had said a week before that they guaranteed he would be back for this game, which he is. He's active in Detroit. Not a good matchup for Detroit. You know what I mean? So I think he'll be touchdown dependent, but I think he'll see a good workload. But I'm still going. I would say Sanders, then Edmonds, and then Penny maybe. I don't know after that.
Yeah.
Who was the other one?
Singletary. Yeah.
Yeah, Singletary. It's a cold, icy day. I don't know how it is in Orchard Park. That's about a half hour from me. But here it's icy and cold and like sleety. So I don't know how the field's gonna be. And Buffalo still doesn't prove that they run the ball. You know what I mean? Allen looked great in that comeback last week.
He looked like their running back
of that game. Yeah, but he is their running back.
That's not a good thing to lead going in the
And
playoffs.
that could get
if
him
you're
in
not
trouble.
Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
In icy conditions like this today, like I said, I don't know exactly how it is there, but he tends to fumble the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's going to be a pushover game for him. I think Carolina, they have their offensive woes, but that defense is still pretty nice. And Buffalo can't stop the run. Chubb Hubbard, if he chooses to go off, we'll see.
Yeah. Yep. And speaking of James Conner, we'll finish this bad boy up. He came back. Caesar watched it. I watched it. Nufo watched it. As James Conner went ape on Monday Night Football and had a great game. It was awesome. He took over the game in the second half, and it was basically knocked me out of the playoffs. Salute. But what do you guys think of James Conner? And since we already kind of mentioned Edmonds here, Edmonds got back from an injury, or he was on some list, and what do you call it? He came back and didn't really get any game time at all. Or actually, they took him. They said he was going to play. I'm sorry, I got this wrong. They said he was going to play midweek last week. We talked about it on Sunday. By the time the game played, they yanked him.
Yeah, they never even activated him off the. They never even took him off the IR.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I think he'll be a part of the offense. Connor definitely proved that he could
carry.
Oh yeah, big time.
Sorry, excuse me. Nunya, how you feeling about the James Conner Edmonds situation in Arizona down there?
I think they're pretty. Arizona needs a win pretty hard, pretty desperately. I think Edmonds gets in the mix a lot this week.
What are they on, a 3-game slide or a 2-game right now with Kyler?
2-game with Kyler, but everything got a lot closer. It's that more serious, and I think Edmonds back in the game plan the right way with Connor as the smash it guy is just a more proven offense for them.
Yeah, Rams are 1 game back, I think, right now of them. They've climbed all the way back.
Cards are 10-3. Rams are 9-4.
Yep.
Even the Niners in the mix at 7-6.
Yeah, right. Yep.
And then as far as the number 1 seed, you got the Cowboys in the mix now at 9-4. The Packers 10-3. The Bucks 10-3. So you got 3 teams tied for that number 1 spot.
And we don't even have to talk
get
about
interesting.
We don't even have to talk about the AFC because we already know what that's looking like.
Looking like the Raiders still got a chip in a chair.
Here's ADC.
ADAC, DC.
Good morning.
Get that coffee. Bring some coffee back for us, brother. I could use it.
Oh, we getting some deep YouTube stuff here from Michael Maturi. I like this. I might have to see some more information about this someday. Teams are related to the markets. All right. Let's go to Week 15 projections. We'll get a little look in on some of these players this week. Then we'll move into tight ends or defenses. So this week we got Dalvin Cook going up the Chicago Bears in Chicago. And that, of course, is probably going to be one of the more windier games, if not one of the more colder games. I'm looking, we talked about it, Dalvin Cook, if he's the main carrier, they look to probably win the game or have a better offensive game. I think Dalvin Cook is going to get a lot of carries against Chicago Bears. It's an interdivisional game. This is how most of these games have looked this season. So, yeah, I'm Dalvin Cook fan today. Were you at MIA on Dalvin Cook today, or is it today?
Yeah. They need a win. They're still hanging on over there at 6-7. So I think Cook is just gonna at least have 25, 30 touches.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that. I like the 30 touches would make me happy.
I think he'll get 20 carries and, at least 5-6 catches, maybe some more carries, depending on the weather, depending on how they play the ball, if Thielen's playing or not.
Yeah.
But any which way, he's a must start, and he's, I'm liking the spot that they're in.
None you way thinking about the Dalvin
Mitchell
the
Wade.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't have said it better. He's the workhorse, and I think they have to lean on him, especially at Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It's their better game plan anyhow. Never really going to stop Justin Jefferson, but in this time of year, in that black and blue division, always division games are tough. Doesn't matter; those teams always play each other hard. I think they lean really heavy on Cook.
I like that. So then we come to Nick Chubb going up against the Raiders. The Raiders. Let's start with the old MIA up there at the top. I won't even give my opinion on this one yet. Nick Chubb going at home against the Raiders. Sorry, they're playing at home, so the Raiders are going to Cleveland to the Toilet Bowl. What are you thinking Nick Chubb puts up against the Raiders? How many touches do you think he's seeing today?
Well, I think it depends on how their offensive line gets who gets cleared to play tomorrow, maybe, and who doesn't. And it looks like they'll be without Kareem Hunt too. So I mean, if they're gonna, Chubb's probably gonna carry most of the load, I would think. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Raiders are sus against the run, so I'd look for him to be over 100 on the ground, any which way.
So, just so you guys know, this is kind of a close thing to be in the game of Nunya versus MIA, because it's, Raiders fan versus Nunya's home state, Ohio. I don't think Nunya's a Cleveland fan, though, at all.
No.
How's that Baker Mayfield doing?
Yeah, I got you blocked, buddy. I never block you, Hyde.
What? Hyde got blocked?
I don't know. He says MIA hasn't blocked. I never have you blocked.
Never. Never. So where are you at on Chubb this week, especially if there's no Kareem Hunt?
That's what I was gonna say. Kareem got put on that list. So they're gonna have to lean heavy on him regardless. And You know how I think we all feel about Baker.
Yeah.
So regardless if they're behind, if they're ahead, they're just going to, in my opinion, Chubb left, Chubb right, Chubb up the middle.
Yeah, there was that week right before Kareem came back that they did go strictly Chubb, and he carried the game. He did everything Hunt's asked to do, and Chubb did it, and he did it well. So
we saw it, Heidenreich. Thank you. You're right. Vikings do play Monday,
as do the Raiders and
Appreciate
Cleveland.
That. But yeah, I just like Chubb this week. I think it's a smart move. I don't think the Raiders have stopped the run very well. They've had some good pass rush situations that they're good at, but the run has been kind of dicing them up in certain games where they have to cover multiple receivers. And I think that opens them up for susceptible runs, so Chubb might eat them up today. Real quick, there's a question coming in from Ben Schuler here. I think he's got
Hey, morning, Ben.
pick 3 of his 4. Patterson, Gaskin, Carter, and Gronk. I can be real quick on my answer. All the 3 except for Carter. I'm not playing anything Jets right now.
Yeah, I'd probably go Patterson, Gaskin, Gronk.
I agree. I think the Jets really want to work the rookie Carter as much as they can, but I think they're in trouble against Miami today, and I think Gaskin is playing directly against them. I think he has a better chance. So certainly Patterson and Gronk. My toss-up would be Gaskin and Carter, and matchup dependent, I go Gaskin. So I agree completely with the other guys, Patterson, Gaskin, Gronk.
I just see the Jets punting a lot today. See them going 3 and out. Trying to run on first down, getting 4 yards, and second, third down, 2 quick bad passes, and they're punting. And then same thing the next drive. Yeah. Go ahead.
A lot of Gaskin in the second half when it's hot and humid and the Jets are out of breath.
Yeah. What were you going to say, MIA? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, I was just basically going to say the same thing. The Dolphins still playing for something. The Jets aren't. So I think Carter's gonna have the opportunity. I just don't see the Jets giving him the opportunity to capitalize on it.
Unless he breaks a chip run off that just happens.
And there's that potential. He's got a high ceiling. The kid's good. It's just not a great situation there. In this time of year, for me, as much as I like to see spoilers and people playing spoiler, when it comes down to it, that's a big factor for me. If it's a team still fighting for the playoffs, I'm going to lean towards the player on that team.
It's the week before
Miami's
Christmas.
In that situation, yeah.
Just like everyone else. If they're not playing for the playoff, those guys are at home picking presents out for their kids, picking presents out for themselves. They just played a whole season. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
And teams are looking forward to next year as far as seeing what they have in some players at this point in the game. Like Jacksonville, I don't, I have to start Robinson in my one league because.
But how much are you expecting to get out of any player on Jacksonville, knowing what just happened this week? It's the week before Christmas, and they know next year we got an entire new coaching staff here. So any of the young guys that they're just trying to evaluate, like you said, MIA, are going to get moved up to play in most cases, or get a lot more time. So the starters are going to, they get leveled off.
Well, also I picked up Houston's defense.
Okay. Yeah, because
for the playoffs in my big league, I'm like, I needed to take a shot. I needed something, and it was a good thing. I dropped KC. I should have dropped KC in the league that I'm playing you.
Okay.
But they only got me 3 points, but I dropped them in my big league, and I'm gonna roll the dice on Houston.
Yep.
Hopefully,
I think that's a smart play because they could get a bunch of younger players starting for the other team, and that causes fumbles, that causes tip balls, that you just get bad.
Well, and it's not a situation either where you have a veteran quarterback that could take the lead. Like, not that Carr did a great job, but like in the Gruden transition, at least we had that leadership there. Like, you got a rookie quarterback. Not that he's not doing a good job, but it's not going to be as easy to just put the coach out of it and just run the game because they never established what kind of offense they were even running there.
Yep. So they're in complete, whatever the word for it is. I can't think.
Yeah, I think he does hide. I think Madison is actually out with that. I don't know if that carries over to tomorrow.
We might need to start digging for the Minnesota third string running back.
Yeah.
Figuring out who that is just so people know. We got you for Chubb, right? And everybody got in on Chubb. None of you got in on Chubb? Yeah,
Yes.
you went to the Cleveland boy. That's right. All right, so my favorite running back of the season, who has hurt me so many times already this season by missing games repeatedly, Mr. Kamara. This is a big game against Tampa Bay for New Orleans, and to tell you the truth, I don't think he gets much running yards. I think it's passing yards in this game. He has to keep them off kilter in the passing game, or they'll just pass rush the crap out of whatever quarterback's back there in Tampa Bay today. I think it's Taysom Hill, but I'm looking at Kamara getting 60 yards passing today. I don't see too much rushing yards. Maybe a couple draws that get him 10 or 20 yards, but other than that, I do like Kamara in the passing game today. Where are you guys at against Tampa Bay? Kamara at home in a dome. Go to Nunya first.
Yeah, I like Tampa's D a lot, but they blitz a lot. I think Kamara's way more valuable in the pass game this week.
Mm-hmm.
That little leak out 5 yard or whatever, where it's up to him to make things happen after that. It's 5 yards to catch and it's a 40-yard reception. Where I think they have to use that or they're dead.
Taysom Hill RPOs could be deadly. They could be good, or they could be bad if played poorly. You get a little bobbled pitch, and next thing you know, somebody picks up a ball and goes 40 yards the other way. But, yeah, I do like the passing game there. What about you, MIA, with Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, I like both. I mean, Tampa is solid number 1 or number 2 against the run, but I think they'll still find interesting ways to run the ball with Taysom Hill to, like you guys were saying, either some kind of quarterback option, something like that to get it in his hands, whether they're short catches or technically runs, whatever. I think they have to lean heavy on Kamara today. I think they'll use him.
Part of them winning the game has to be him getting in the end zone a couple times.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, with Taysom Hill, you always have that Bogart possibility. You know what I mean? Where we can see him vulture touchdowns at the goal line on play actions or something like that. But I think Kamara is a full go.
Nunya, what were you gonna say there? Sorry.
Ian Rappaport just had a tweet about James Conner's ankle being worse than they thought. No practices this week. He's definitely splitting carries with Chase Edmonds.
Okay. So you were the person
Bulldogs got him starting against me in the playoffs.
Uh-oh. Bulldoggy, if you're out there, I know you're listening all the time. Check on some running back action. And if you were the guy asking about the Connors question a little bit ago, you might take another look at that, knowing that information. Let's see here. I think there's another question that came in. Brady's Zabludil, Renfro, DK, or Gaskin, PPR?
In PPR.
Right? I like the Renfro. He's getting all kinds of mad little receptions underneath right now.
Yeah. I completely agree. DK has just not had any rapport since Russ has been back. So while I like him in the beginning of the season, he just seems bad since Russ is back.
I like Myles Gaskin though today too.
You do? If it was the other G in Miami in that question, and it was Jizeki, I'd be like, oh yeah, take that guy. But I think I'm still gonna lean on Renfro, and I can't believe I'm saying this with that Raiders guy above me. But yeah, I think I'm leaning on Renfro.
With the PPR, that makes a big difference. I mean, Renfro.
The Renfro 5-yard little catches, that little triple move he does to get DBs to get off of him when he goes inside and then goes back out, man, that thing works, and they got it timed down well, and they just use it up. And I'm happy to watch it because it's a good little move. But
Cassie was recommending Renfro also.
Cassie with the Renfro recommendation. That's a Chiefs fan recommending a Raiders player, by the way. Just let y'all know.
Yeah, I mean, Renfro's numbers have been unstoppable.
Yeah. He's made a little niche for himself. Even if the Raiders were to cut him this year, sorry to cut you off, if the Raiders were to cut him this year, He could go anywhere in the NFL right now, this guy, and become a third wide receiver just with the routes he's kind of developed for himself. That's a cool thing to have. I'm sorry, if you had anything else, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I think he's turning into Cooper Kupp out there the way we use him.
Agreed.
I love it. But it's not enough. It's not, you can't have that
carry an offense
carrying your team. Yeah.
It's a good first down mover. It's a chain mover, but you still got to have strike weapons. You can even use it on the end zone. They used it on the goal line a couple times, but if you use it every single time, they'll just sit on it. They won't even allow him to do the move. So
he's never dropped a pass in the red zone.
Are you kidding me? That's an amazing stat.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good stat to know if you know you're going to have Renfrow on your team, that if anywhere near the goal line they're throwing to him, it's basically a catch. That's a nice stat to have.
Yeah.
Let's move into the Najee Harris, Ben Roethlisberger, Pittsburgh debacle, and what's still happening there. I don't even really care what his score is going to be. I know he is the man now in Pittsburgh. I mean, they're making commercials with this guy and cutting Ben out of the picture. At least ESPN was doing that for him during that Monday night game the other week. So I think Najee Harris is just going to get carries the rest of the season as they erase Ben Roethlisberger from their history. He kind of did himself in there. Where are you guys at with holding Najee Harris through the playoffs and this final weeks?
I like him. I think he's going to be another workhorse there. Like you said, I think it's they're ready to move on from Ben.
Yeah.
And I think Ben probably shouldn't want to go out on a low. I mean, make it respectful, hand the ball off, don't try to do what you're not capable of doing anymore, and ride out the end of the season.
Yeah. None, you kind of same position. You got any thoughts?
Yeah, he's the future, and they did a good job drafting him and protecting that. They should run and play defense.
You guys both feel like if you're sitting on this guy, it's week 15, you got the uplook of the playoffs. Do you feel safe health-wise? Do you feel like he can finish the season strong and getting 100 yards and maybe 2 or 3 catches a game? He's been on an 80-yard pace.
I think it depends on how this plays out too. They're at the bottom of their division, but they're still only a game and a half or 2 games out. But that could change real quick to where they're eliminated in 2 weeks, and then. But I think as far as fantasy playoffs go, I think Harris is going to be a monster right through it.
Yeah. GMBJE. No, you go ahead. I'm sorry. We'll get this question in a second.
If we're just saying Harris for the future of this season, and I mean even for keeper, I'm bullish on him. I like the way he maybe they teach it, but the way he's even patient enough for them to set up blocks. I've watched him a few times recently. Some memories of vintage Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Seems like he really gets it, and I did watch that interview with you on the Discord. He's stepping up. He wants to be a leader. I'm bullish on him.
I like it too. I think it's a big deal for them to have a running back if they're going to replace a quarterback. They need to have an established running back there. It's going to be hard to just slide somebody in, but if you have a running back, it makes it a little bit easier. We got, it looks like 2 or 3 questions here coming in.
Yeah.
Crypto for us all. Green, more targets from Kyler today. That's a hard one, man. That's an individual game plan. You have to really look at the defense to be able to tell you who that they're playing, to tell you who's going to get the most targets. Top of my head, I'm going to say AJ Green more than likely, just because he's the top guy, but there's always the chance of the underneath guy getting more targets, the Kirk and the Moores. But
they're playing Detroit. I mean, I know that Cliff Kingsbury likes to win by a lot, so they may throw a ton in the first half. Does Detroit just give up? Like, that's a real.
How many of those guys are still playing in the game by the end of the game?
I think it'll be heavy doses of Connor and Edmonds up there. But AJ Green had 11 targets last week.
Yep.
I'd go with it as well, but that's a tough combination there.
It is, and Christian Kirk he can get a big play. So
But he only
it's
gets like
not
4 or 5
necessarily
targets a game, though.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a target thing for him, but he has the big play potential.
Hoping this is daily fantasy and you spent your money on Kyler and you're trying to get somebody cheap for the hookup.
Yeah.
That
I hope
would
that's the
make sense.
case, yeah. GMBG, is that GMB Jeff 021? Good morning, bro. Who should I start? Chuba Hubbard, David Johnson, or Jeff Wilson? I'm going one of those two. The third one is completely out for me. I'll let you guys answer, and then I'll come back to where I was going with those.
I'm going Chuba Hubbard.
I think I am too there.
Any reason why you would not go Jeff Wilson?
I just don't like. I don't think he's that great of a running back.
I think there's a better running back in San Fran. His name is.
But they give a lot of their running to wide receivers it's odd how they do it there. I don't trust him.
I don't think they trust him either, and that's why they hand off to Debo and Ayuk. But yeah, I don't like David Johnson.
Jeff Wilson got two big opportunities and didn't really.
Failed both times hard. And everybody else, like Trey Sermon, would come off injury and get 80 yards, no problem. They give this kid healthy, and he couldn't get 40 yards, and he looked like crap doing it. So, yeah.
David Johnson's another one. I don't trust him. I don't think he's going to be in Houston next year, so I don't.
That dude's cashing a paycheck. That's all he's here for. He ain't running hard.
Yeah.
Dependent. I mean, he could get the big game, but I think safe-wise, there is no Christian McCaffrey, whatever. Chuba Hubbard's going to be the guy. They have to lean.
Yeah, and if it's icy conditions up here, if it gets snowy, I don't know if snow is in the forecast at all, but we already have a little bit. It's going to be cold. They're going to have to run the ball, and Buffalo's been susceptible to the run big time. So, yeah, I would have to go Chuba there.
Looks like Crypto for Us All was looking for a DFS play, and I like that. Once in a while, if you can get that hookup with an expensive quarterback and you get the combination, if you get your hookup, that's a way to really score in DFS.
Absolutely.
Saves you a little money other places, too. You can pick up a better running back, a better tight end, improve your game strategy all around. All right, guys. The final running back here on the week, we got Joe Mixon. I think we're kind of clear on questions here for a second. Joe Mixon's been a beast all season. He's getting better and better as the season gets on or grows longer. I don't want to say yards-wise. I just mean like the team-wise. He's blocking better. He's doing a little bit more in the passing game, I guess. But he's also still getting the yards when they need him. As a running back, he's coming up. He's getting to be an established team in a triplets kind of situation there in Cincinnati. Where are you guys at if you have Joe Mixon on your team for the running back or for the playoff situation and ending up the season? Do you see him continuing to get handoffs through the playoffs, leading into the real playoffs? Sorry. I'll go MIA on that one first.
Yeah, absolutely. And with any cold weather team, you always have that opportunity on any given week for it to be a weather-related game where it turns into having to run the ball. You see that more often than see games turn into shootouts this time of the season. He hasn't, like you were saying, he hasn't had the numbers the last few weeks, Mixon, as far as fantasy numbers, but he is becoming a better running back all around. Like you were saying, the blocking, the little things. And
they haven't even really been
bullish
winning.
on him.
He just looks better in everything he's been doing.
Yes. And they're right in the thick of things. They're 7-6. It's interesting time of year. This is more teams being involved in playoff talk this time of year than I can remember in recent history. I love it.
Watch for the teams that finish strong. I've been talking about the Bengals all season, and they're not finishing strong. They're faltering the last couple of weeks. They've had a chance to put their foot on the throat of everybody in the NFC North, and they've let everybody climb back into it. Mm-hmm. And they could have been far and away, but they lost. And
Baltimore persevering. They've had a lot of injuries, not just a few. They've had a lot of issues to deal with, Baltimore, and to still be where they're at, that impresses me.
Impressive, yeah. Nunya, where are you at with Mixon?
Yeah, I think Mixon's better than his coaching staff allows him to be, and so are the Bengals. So I think they should be in better shape than they are. But I think, at least for the playoffs this year and going forward, I think he's safe. But you're right. The weather part is huge. I think running games, running backs, outdoor running backs. That's why I want to have them.
Cold weather Cincinnati playoffs is not fun. When you have to go play in the middle of January, in the middle of windy Cincinnati up near Three Rivers, that's not fun. That can be cold. Like that's not Three Rivers, but you know what I'm talking about. Downtown Cincinnati gets nasty.
Downtown Cincinnati, it's still right by the Ohio River. It's on that river. But let's grab a couple questions before they get away.
Yep. What do we got?
Donovan Peoples-Jones or DK Metcalf? I'm going DK Metcalf there.
Yeah. Donovan Peoples-Jones had a little bright spot a couple weeks ago, and he has just not seemed to be able to hold on to the ball when he gets it thrown to him. I've seen Baker get it to him a couple times, and then he just fuddles. It's not been impressive. But on the other side of that, just to be devil's advocate, DK Metcalf, like you said earlier, not very much connection with Russell Wilson since he got back from the injury. They haven't been able to link up, and that's a big boy that you should be able to hit on a slant or something. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm understanding.
It can happen any given week, too. I think they can maybe start clicking. I just see with Cleveland's offensive line in the situation that they're in, with Cleveland's whole team in the situation they're in, I'm staying away from anymore. And that's not because I think the Raiders are going to dominate them. I think, who knows? We've been inconsistent.
If I'm paying or got this big boy named DK Metcalf and I'm seeing what San Francisco's doing and Atlanta's doing with their beast of wide receivers. And
get the ball in his hands.
Get the playmaker the ball. Run him, throw it to him, wide receiver screen, quick slant, 5-yard out, but all they ever do is try to go for like a 15-yard button hook or something to DK, and it's always too long, and Russell's running from his life, and the pass never connects. So, yeah, DK scares me, but I still got to go with him over Don Peoples-Jones. Sorry, I went a long way to get back to that, but
yeah, I think we're all in agreement on that. Nanya?
Yep.
DK's in my eyes. DK's the better athlete than Donald Peoples-Jones, and
better quarterback throwing the ball.
Russ is the better quarterback.
Yeah.
So DK.
April, there you go. You got it, Odie.
Oh, okay. Pick two: Patterson, AJ Green, Parker, or Van Jefferson, or Devonte Smith. So we got 5 here we can go with, and we're picking 2 for a full PPR.
Thank you for letting us know full PPR. That helps us a ton, April.
No doubt, and welcome, by the way. Nunya, who you got for this one on this question here?
Without a doubt, Cordell Patterson is there because he is, like we were just talking about, the Swiss Army knife. He's used for a lot. So you're going to get the runs, you're going to get the catches. Him for sure. Is that Devontae Parker? I'm not sure.
I believe it would be, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to assume.
I'm going to go Devonte Smith. I might have leaned Van Jefferson. I actually read a tweet about 20 minutes ago that Beckham Jr. has been activated, so he passed that next exam he had to pass.
Okay.
So I think that may bring Jefferson down a little bit. So for me, it would be Patterson and Smith.
Where are you at, MIA?
Definitely Patterson, and then it's a toss-up for me with Devonte Smith or Parker. With Waddle out, I really like Parker in that spot, and I hate it because I'm playing against him in the playoffs. But I think I'd probably go Devonte Parker there. I don't know if Waddle being out hurts Parker more or helps him, but I've seen Parker take over games, especially in the division. Yeah, I'd go Parker.
I like, I'll do that real quickly, Cordell Patterson and A.J. Green here. I like A.J. Green's targets again from last week, and I do like them throwing to him.
Great matchup.
Yeah.
Great matchup against Detroit.
Caesar, I think he was answering the question in the first one, and then he's got a question, Goddard or Pitts this week. I think I got to go Goddard, man.
Me too.
Pitts just isn't getting the looks that you expect him to get, and maybe he's just not getting the separation or something, but they're just, like, he's the only passing element they got, but it's a tight end. he should be able
Every
to
other
find
team knows
situations.
he's the only passing element they got. So every other team just
True.
absolutely game plans to stop him.
Yeah. And then for me, I think Philadelphia is in a different situation. You know what I mean? Than Atlanta. Atlanta's pretty much out of it.
Yeah.
No,
True.
they're not. They got the same record. I can't understand how Atlanta's 6-7. But I guess technically they're still in it. I think Pitts is the better talent, but I think Goddard gets more opportunities.
Yeah.
Tough one though. Tough one. I think either one because I've started Pitts every week outside of the bye in my big league. He's my tight end in the playoffs this week, and it's like it's tough to pull it on him because you know the talent that's there. You know what he's capable of doing. That's tough.
Yeah.
I'd go Goddard.
None. Did you already get in on the Goddard Pitts?
Goddard, just because Pitts, I agree, probably the better talent, but he's game planned against, and it just seems to be kind of clueless. So,
Yeah. This is a weird situation. It plays out weird. We got James Mendez 17 coming in here. Hey guys, need to pick 2 running backs for this week. My options are Gibson, Penny, Edmonds, Michael Carter, and Darrell Henderson. Thanks, guys. None of you want to hit this one up first, and then I'll go to MIA on that one. I'm going to do a little bit of background here for a second. Sorry.
no problem. I am certainly out of that mix right away. I'm going to use Gibson, and then my other one would have to choose between Penny, Edmonds, Michael Carter, and Darrell Henderson. I don't trust Seattle. I personally think last week was a fluke for Penny, and I think he's an injury risk, so I'll get rid of him. Michael Carter, first week back and playing Miami might be an issue, and they might be down. So next week I might like Carter. I don't trust him yet. Darrell Henderson or Edmonds. I'm probably going to go with Edmonds, leaning on what I just read about Connor's ankle. So I guess roundabout Gibson and Edmonds is my choice in those two.
Am I where are you at out of those? You got 5 to 2.
I agree 100% with everything. Like, there's nothing I could add. I would 100% go Gibson and Edmonds.
I might switch to a Henderson there, to a Darrell Henderson, but I kind of do agree that, especially knowing that Connor is gimped up a little bit, I think I got to lean the same way you guys are, Gibson and Edmonds here. There's another question right underneath that one, right? Coming in from Heidenberg.
Right.
Yep. Alex St. Brown, Adam Thaleen, questionable, but I'm not sure he will play. D Knox, D Metcalf. I need to not play one, so 3 of those 4. Which one are you sitting? Or I'm sorry, 3 of those 4 are playing. Which one are you sitting?
I think that's tough. I think that's tough with the Thielen situation.
With Thielen not playing today is such a tough issue because
Yes.
I hate to get a 0 this late in the season. I sit him.
Yeah. Yeah. Goose eggs are not acceptable this late in the season.
You just can't. What if the
any of those other ones play after?
The time lineups on them? Yeah, have to look real quick.
Seattle does, right? Actually.
Yeah, Seattle plays on Tuesday, so I would go ahead and play probably St. Brown and Knox today, Hyde, and then if Thielen plays, maybe play him. But then you got DK if he doesn't. But I would play those 2 today to make sure that you're not getting a 0.
Yeah.
100%.
Have that 3rd spot open for related news that comes later.
Yeah.
That's not a bad play. Start 2 in full PPR. Barkley, Jacobs, or Henderson from Stephen Grease. Jacobs to me. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Naya.
Say I'm starting the first 2. I think they are probably going to be more heavily involved in the game plan than Darrell Henderson, and the Giants have really nothing else to do but try and get the ball in Barkley's hands, I would lean Barkley Jacobs.
Yeah, I agree. Henderson could end up having a good game. That's another team that's kind of in the same situation as Cleveland. So if I have Henderson and I have to start him, I'm rolling with it. But I like Jacobs and I like Barkley there.
Yeah. Full PPR. Man, as much as I want to say I want Jacobs to catch the ball, I just haven't seen it.
No, but they have to use him in the passing game now with Kenyon Drake out for what looks like to be the season. Point.
Like, I've only seen one good output from Jacobs in the last 10 weeks. Like, literally one good 20 point output. It's been really painful being a Jacobs holder all season. So much so that I almost want to lean towards Henderson just in this question because I want to revenge him. Barkley, I think, gets played today, of course. But, yeah, I mean, if Jacobs is the better situation today, it might be smarter. We could see Detroit throwing the ball a lot. Or not Detroit, sorry. The Rams did throw the ball a lot today. So it could kind of be that situation. Did I miss any questions here?
Yeah, Jay's got Gallup, Ayuk, James Robinson. Pick one for the flex. I'm going to go James Robinson there. Again, I think that's going to have to be some kind of simple game plan, and they should run the ball a lot, but who knows? I like Ayuk's upside. They've been finding ways to Deebo Samuel. He's kind of the second Deebo Samuel over there, but
I can't get online with any of these third string wide receivers for Dallas. I can't. As much as they get flashy touchdowns every other week, I just can't start him as a flex or a starting wide receiver position. There's only one guy I'm starting in a Dallas wide receiver jersey right now, and it's CeeDee Lamb. I'm not even starting Amari Cooper, and I own the guy. I'm not starting him because I can't trust him week to week. So every time I see one of these Gallup questions, I just kind of man, I feel bad for the guy that owns that guy because if they start him, they're more than likely either getting one thing, an 80-yard touchdown or a big over, at least that from what I've seen on the Gallups. But because of that, I'd have to go with either one of the other people on that question besides Gallup. More than likely, it's going to be Ayuk. But James Robinson, Jacksonville is in lost limbo. I could see them just handing the ball off today. Please just carry our season, Mr. Robinson. Let's get out of this.
And they're playing Houston. I like that. They may just be really inspired because they no longer have Urban Meyer.
True. In that case, they may let the rookie just light it up. They may let the rookie just go, hey, you know what? Go do your thing.
He drafted Travis Etienne, remember. They drafted him in the first round and he got hurt. So Robinson is their guy. Their rookie future guy's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I think we missed Stephen Grise there on the Pitts or Knox. Do we address that one?
We hit the first one from Grise. We didn't hit that one, I think. Yeah, we got the 2 PPR running back one. Let's hit that one up. Pitts or Knox? Like I said earlier about Pitts, I like the kid, but I just don't see him working out in Atlanta's offense right now. Whereas Knox got a touchdown last week. I think he's got touchdowns in 2 of the last 3 weeks.
He's got the most touchdowns by a tight end this year. Okay. I think Sportus Nutritionist kind of nailed it. Pitts guaranteed 4.5 points. Knox could boom easily. I think he's 100% right. I think we've talked about that all year, that connection with Josh Allen and Dawson Knox, and you got to put him, obviously not into the Travis Kelce stature, but Knox is doing his thing, and those connections, maybe when Atlanta makes some kind of pivot from the dinosaur Matt Ryan and gets a quarterback that can have that kind of relationship with Pitts.
Absolutely, yeah.
April, I sure am starting Fournette with no concern.
Every day for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
No concern.
A little bit of mix up with Ronald Jones here and there doesn't concern me a little bit.
No.
He's their guy. Arians loves him and trusts him, and obviously so does Brady.
I'll tell you one thing. If they weren't handing it off to him on the 40s, then I would be concerned. If they were giving it to Ronald Jones or the other guy, Giovanni, on the 40-yard line and only handing it to him inside red zone, I'd be like, oh, that's a concern. But they're giving Fournette the ball on the other side of the field and saying, run it down the rest of the field. We'll follow you down the rest of the field.
Yeah, he's became and that's kind of the role you're describing is kind of how they eased him in last year with him. Was that but I think he's taken on a complete, and I think he's put in the work. I think you're not going to be that involved in the offense if Tom Brady doesn't trust you. You know what I mean? His catches, he's really active in the passing game now. I'm super bullish.
It's the full Leonard Fournette
that
the bill was sold down in Jacksonville. This is what you're supposed to get. Now you're getting it in Tampa Bay. Yeah. And that's scary.
And now you got to start looking at it like, at the time, some of those people were it was like, man, this guy's just talking about a lot of that stuff. Man, there's a common denominator in a lot of those issues. It turned out to be the Jacksonville organization. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shad Khan. I think we're kind of caught up here. Does anybody need to go check on what them dogs are doing?
I'm gonna go let those dogs out. I forgot all about them.
Right, is it perfect timing?
I'm gonna get that the dogs even go out on the weekend.
I'm gonna take you guys out of cam. You can go do your thing real quick. I'll keep the chat going here, and then we'll do our little transition. Let you guys remind y'all that we do really appreciate all those likes and subscribes. We try to do this fantasy football on time every week here. Sometimes I'm a little late, but we will be back next week and for the rest of the season. We also are a 24/7 stock channel that tries to bring everything we can for the stock channel or from the stock market info here to the channel through the fam, and then we switch to crypto in the evenings. We will be here every day throughout the rest of the year this year, and we'll be here next year for sure. So you guys know what to do. We're here every morning, we're getting our trades in, and we're definitely bringing our positivity. We got Birdie Hunter, MIA, and Adam, I believe, starting Monday morning tomorrow, and we'll get us through this short week here. Again, Thursday, market will be closing at 2 p.m., and on Friday, there will be no American U.S. markets. I believe Birdie's still going to bring us some information throughout the week about the European markets and everything that's going on over there, so we'll be on top of it. If you guys have any questions or anything, I'll definitely try to hit you up here. I see a Patrick Phelps coming through. Full PPR, Chubb, Fournette, Mixon, Patterson, Deontay Johnson, Debo, Jamar Chase. You want me to pick your whole team for you? All right, here we go. Who do I bench? 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 flex, 1 tight end. All right. Oh, you got it all. That's crazy. So wide receivers, we're going Deontay Johnson, Jamar Chase. Tight end, I'm going to go with Gronk. And your flex, I'm definitely putting Patterson so I can get 2 other running backs in there. So Chubb, Fournette, Patterson, flex, Deontay Johnson, Jamar Chase, Gronk. That's my team. Hope that works out for you. Caesar, I've done that before. I'll make a coffee, leave it down there, and by the time you remember it, it's already kind of cooler, and you don't want to drink it. Mitchell Wayne, now truckloaded with Corona crashes in the Netherlands. What? I don't even know what I just read there, Mitchell. Sorry. We've already got that question down. Let's see here. And just let you guys know, it is 10:14 Eastern. We are about an hour and 15 minutes away from the first start 'em sit 'em updates. I'm gonna check some Twitter while I'm saying that online real quick. See if they've got any new info. Adam Schefter. Looks like everything's going. Field Yates on Twitter is reporting that Aaron Rodgers enters today's game with 439 passing TDs, 5th most ever, and just 4 shy of tying Brett Favre for the most ever in Packers history. So Brett Favre might be looking a little scared that his record might get taken. Let's see here. Check some Adam Schefter real quick, guys. Nothing going on that's new. We're seeing a report here. Cardinals wide receiver Deandre Hopkins, who tore his MCL last week, could be back for the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl if the Cardinals were to make it back.
Super Chat.
That'd be an amazing comeback.
Wow, it's very nice.
Putting our little Twitter feed for you guys. Got any new questions coming in, Caesar? Thank you so much for that super chat, buddy. Appreciate that. Love that you guys are always here every day, and especially all you guys that are definitely take part in the fantasy and everything. We really appreciate that. Thank you for the wonderful gift I received this year to everybody who took part in that. That was awesome. I'm gonna learn how to use that, and that I think it's real cool. I was kind of reading about it. I fell asleep reading about it last night. Thank you so much, guys. See here, do something real quick. Make sure I get that Twitter updated for you guys so you got that new information. There we go. Oh. Uh-oh. See some spicy fro action going on. Get some redeem spicy fro. Maybe we can get someone else to do some one chip challenges one of these days. I'm never doing it again, that's for sure. All right. Again, it is 9:15, about an hour and a half away from any stardom sit-em updates, guys. So if you have any questions or anything, get them fired in here. We'll try to get the best information we can to you. We're going to go through defenses when the other guys come back after I take a little dog check break. And then we'll definitely get to wide receivers and quarterbacks. We'll get the game started for today. Also, check your updated schedules. There are games now Monday and Tuesday of this week, so it's kind of cool. We'll have a nice little short holiday week, and we'll get some football all week long. Don't forget we play fantasy football Tuesday and Friday, or not fantasy football, Texas Hold'em over there on Tuesday and Fridays, and then we've got football here in the Discord on Monday and Thursdays. Yeah. So we'll be around most of the week this week, even when the holiday hours kick in. I hear a little mic jiggling, so I'm going to check.
I'm back!
All right. I'll bring you in, let you handle the chat for a little bit while I go check what them doggies are doing. Let's see here. Poof. There we go. Watch, I've been working on this, Nunya.
Snap, you gonna get it?
You ready for this? Magic. Alright. I will be right back. Uh-oh. Nunya froze. Looks like the whole stream froze.
Caesar made coffee and forgot it downstairs. That's from too much cheers in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm. All the holiday cheers. I'll be right back, Nunya.
The best of us.
What had happened?
Happened here.
Okay, so I've seen a good one that I missed. Caesar C, thank you for that, brother. Patrick Phelps has a super team up there. Full PPR, Chubb, Fournette, Mixon, Patterson, Deontay Johnson, Debo, Jamar Chase, Cooper, Kittle, Gronk, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex, 1 tight end. Who do I bench? Oh, man, super hard this week is not the word for that. I don't even know where to start there.
So hopefully Patterson does. He's like super flexible. He could be wide receiver. He could be tight end. Not tight ends, but flex, running back, wide receiver. Chase, Debo, Fournette, Mixon. Yikes.
Yeah.
Flex Chubb. Gronk and tight end. Wow. I'd love to be in your league.
Yeah.
I hate to be in your league. Hate to be in
Oh,
your
yeah,
league
I
again.
hate to be in your league. Love to be in your shoes. Yeah, I don't even know. I would probably start Chubb and Fournette. Then I'm probably starting Debo. Maybe Debo and Patterson, and then I'm going with Kittle, probably over Gronk. Kittle's been on fire, and I mean, not that Gronk doesn't have that potential. I'm probably going Kittle there, and then probably putting Mixon in the flex. I'm probably starting all three of those running backs, Chubb, Fournette, Mixon, this time of the year. Hey, good morning, Randy Stogner.
Hey, look what I found at the door when I went out to walk those doggies. They come out on Fridays, and you win the special game.
Nice.
I get you a tournament champion personalized with your name on it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well deserved, my friend.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so that's...
Football. We don't just do football, everybody. Please come out to poker and games.
Then Caesar C's got one pick, one flex. Gibson, Pitts, McLaurin if he plays, or Osborne, or Thielen if Thielen plays. I'm going Gibson there. I think with McKissick, I'm not sure if he's playing or not. But either way, I think Gibson's going to be the workhorse there. I don't know who their quarterback is.
And the Osborne feeling, I like the way you have them grouped because it's going to be one or the other. I picked Gibson just because I know he's going to get the points, and it's so crucial at this time. You can't afford a zero. McLaurin may or may not play. Thielen may or may not play. It's hit or miss, touchdown dependent.
Hey, Brandy Powers. I'm off to a surprise party, but I'll pop in later tonight. Hope everyone has a great day. Awesome, Brandy Powers. Hope you have a great day. Hope that surprise party is a hit. Hopefully they're surprised. Don't blow the surprise on somebody else.
Always good to see you around hanging out, though. Had a good time.
Absolutely. And I do not blame you, Mr. Stogner, benching the entire Detroit Lions team. Not a bad idea.
Yes. Let me see if we have any new news. I know I saw a Schefter tweet earlier that Lamar Jackson is unlikely to play. So that may affect some people.
Yeah, I'm seeing here he's dealing with a bone bruise in his ankle, not an ankle sprain as previously reported.
Not looking good.
No. Marquise Brown is expected to play. I see that came out. So I guess that's good news, bad news for Baltimore.
Is Nunya frozen?
I don't think so.
Okay. Nope, no, it's not. All right, maybe it was just my camera. All right, what are you guys talking about? What did I miss out? Sorry.
We were just talking about Brandy Powers not wasting the good surprise on somebody else.
Oh, happy.
She's going to a surprise party.
Well, good morning.
Cody's
Hope
like,
you're having a good
what?
time. Yeah, I'm lost. There's a surprise party this morning. I was about to say, well, happy Christmas surprise party, but then I was like, hold on, I'm gonna check.
Surprise, Odefro.
Surprise, Odefro.
Party. Yeah.
So here's the surprise that we haven't let out the bag yet because we haven't seen him show up yet. He may still be sleeping.
Yes, I know where you're going with this.
Happy birthday to L. Snappy Tan.
Good point. Excellent point, Nunya. One L Snappy Tan was born on 12/19 in the year of the Bulldog some years ago, 29 years ago, I believe.
29 years again.
29 years, as a matter of fact, to the day.
And I hope
Mr. Snap, if you're out there, happy birthday, my brother. I've been waiting for you to pop in the chat before we said it, but the monkey's out of the bottle.
The surprise party came out.
Yeah, monkey's out of the bottle now.
Me to wish him birthday. So
Yeah. If you do see L Snap today or tomorrow in the chat, make sure you wish him a happy birthday. He doesn't have any problem with anyone knowing that, so let him know happy birthday. Just like you would a Gone Postal birthday every single day of the week.
don't forget Gone Postal.
All right, I'm going to flip this into defenses. Nunya, are you seeing any new updates or anything? I was kind of checking while you guys were on the doggy break there, but I didn't see anything
The only one
new.
I brought up while you were out was the Lamar Jackson one. It's not super new, but it's looking less and less likely that he will play.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. The kid behind him doesn't play that bad. He kind of almost can do everything Lamar does. I mean, maybe not as well, but he can kind of do it. It's really...
We've seen him this year, so I'm not too scared. If you have a Hollywood Brown, I wouldn't totally downgrade him. But if you're one of those people who made it this far in the league by having Lamar Jackson, you better be really ready to make the switch or consider switching him already anyhow.
Right. Yeah. Bulldog. Quack, quack. Move on that. Playing MIA in the playoffs. In the rookie league. I'm giving information to the enemy here.
MIA like, shh.
Hopefully he's sleeping.
Oh, he's sleeping. You know, he's out. He's out till about 3 or 4 this afternoon. My time. Actually, no, he's not. He's got meetings with all you all here in a little bit, doesn't he? He's up all day.
It's all right. Just don't bring up fantasy football at those
Get
meetings.
the yellow badge intern's gonna come in here and reprimand me here in a second. What's Caesar with the cakes? What's the cakes represent? Is that for the surprise party?
Birthday.
Brandy, I hope you have a good time.
Remember that whole segment we just did on Snappy Tan's birthday?
Mm-hmm. Oh! Okay, well, wake up, Odie Fro. Welcome to the world.
Cheers.
I probably need to cheers, tell you the truth, yeah. All right. So let's move into defense since I can't seem to remember anything in the whole world and showing up late today and everything else. By the way, did you guys stick around and play games last night? It was fun. Well deserved. All right. So if you guys are out there, we probably know we all stream defenses or at least attempt to most of the season. I've been holding on to Dallas's defense because of the interceptions. They get a couple sacks too with that Parsons kid. He's been real good for them, caused a couple fumbles. But in most cases, the three of us try to stream defenses weekly. Some of the ones that we're looking at this week is Buffalo looking up against Carolina. Could be a good matchup with a bad armed, PJ Walker? He's not real bad armed, but he's still not a starting quarterback. It's a good situation. Arizona's going to Detroit. That's a Goff nightmare waiting to happen. And then Dallas versus New York. Is the Big Bird guy still the quarterback in New York this week?
It is Mr. Longneck. It's Big Bird, yeah.
Okay. Well, as you can see, these three defenses are probably going to have good outputs today, somewhere ranging above 11 to 15 points, I would think. Do you guys concur?
I entirely concur. I might also throw San Francisco in there. I think they have a big week at home against the Falcons.
I concur.
What defenses would you stay away from this week? And Chiefs not included. I would throw the Raiders up. I do fear what the Raiders do this week.
I don't know. I kind of like both of those defenses in that game.
Okay.
The Raiders and the Browns. I don't expect a whole lot of offense in that game.
I don't expect a lot of offense, but I think that negates the Raiders' strong thing, and that's their pass rush.
That's
if the
true.
Browns run the ball and just start dicing the Raiders up, it could be a Raiders give up 400 yards offense game real quick. So
Absolutely.
I do see that as a possibility. Also on the NFC side, I don't think I want to play the San Francisco 49ers this week. I really don't think I want to play them. So if I'm got that defense going against that offense, I'm not playing them. I'm trying to remember who it is, but I just know the offense for 49ers is clicking right now, on fire.
Yeah, Niners are playing against Atlanta, so you probably don't want to use Atlanta's D. And New Orleans is one that I've streamed a bunch of times this year. They're a strong defense. They're playing at Tampa.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, I don't want to go against Atlanta or against Tampa either right now.
Tampa at night, no way.
That's, I mean, let alone if you can keep Tampa under 35 points, whatever. But you're not keeping them under 400 yards. Like, they're going to get their 100 yards rushing, they're going to get 300 yards passing, and you're going to end up with a big...
Caesar. I'm going to get us in trouble.
What's Caesar doing? Oh, no.
Atlanta.
Thank you, Enzo.
I want to know.
Yep. There's pictures, by the way. There are pictures.
Okay.
That was my fun. Thank you, Brandy. I appreciate it. It was fun. All right, Dreon Curselli. I hope I said that right. Dreon Curselli comes in. Sanders, Gibson, Barkley. Pick 2. None, I'll go you first.
I'm gonna go with tough, but I guess I probably Gibson and Barkley just on bulk carry. I think that they get the workload this week.
Yeah, I agree. Sanders, I think Sanders is just as talented as both of them, but I think that backfield's crowded. I think both of those guys are the man there as far as Gibson and Barkley, so I would go with them too.
Spilt Red Bull. Sorry, guys. I'm coming back. Hold on. I'm having problems today, man. The holiday parties get me bad. I don't know what it is. Look, MIA's over there stretching out. We put it in hard here when we do party. Brandy Powers. We're like some great NFT ideas. Oh no. Don't miss out on them parties, guys. Don't miss out.
Right. There's a lot going on in the Discord, everybody.
I gotta say, I'm going Barkley and Gibson. I just don't trust Philly running backs enough to go over the top of those two. Philly running backs change every single day. You could see a great Sanders output day to day, but you know you're going to see Gibson and you know you're going to see Barkley. So that's what, just on the fact that those two guys are the starters, I'm going with that. Doesn't even matter who they're playing. I'm going to take those two starters over Sanders every day. Anybody else not answer that one? Sorry.
Nope, I think we're all good on that. And Brandy Powers, I like you in the chat. I love you in poker. I can't even say that what you just said. Cheers.
Go Dallas. We can say that.
That hurts.
Brandy got some awesome Batman memorabilia.
Yes, she does. That was some
there.
cool stuff.
That was really cool.
That was really cool stuff. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
All right, so we're gonna move.
Ooh, good morning, Santa.
Hey, Mr. Santa.
Put him in the bathroom.
See you this morning.
All right, let me move this into everybody's favorite category. The old Travis Kelce show. Just enjoy it for a little bit. Just enjoy it. We're in first place. AFC. Entire AFC. All right, we'll move on. So, we had a little recap from last week. George Kittle has suddenly reappeared into the NFL like he never was around and then just showed up all of a sudden in week 13 and has been on a tear for about the last 2 weeks. Put up 21 points again last week. I would look for him to continue. I think they finally figured out, hey, this guy's our offense. Let's keep it moving. So I think they're going to keep on cruising with him. How you guys feeling about George Kittle the rest of the season, holding this guy in your offense as a starting tight end play? We'll start with Mr. Nunya over there.
Yeah, the trend of them going to some and then getting the ball to him is huge. And if you watched the overtime last week, it was just Garoppolo to Kittle, Garoppolo to Kittle, Garoppolo to Kittle, Garoppolo to Kittle. That's all it was, and it wasn't stoppable. And Shanahan's no jerk, no joke. I think it's going to be that and more going forward. Very bullish.
I think their best.
Yeah,
offense.
I think the only thing that can stop Kittle is him not being on the field.
Yeah.
You know, he's always going to be. You always gotta have a little bit of fear of injury with him, but other than that, they're using him exactly up to his potential. I think he is back up where he was kind of projected before the season. You know, up there with Waller and kind of Kelsey as the three premier tight ends. I think he's right back to that form now.
The way that the 49ers have been using the wide receivers as running backs is one part of this, because whenever those wide receivers don't go downfield, the safety or the corner's got to stay up close to the line, and that allows Kittle, who's going to almost destroy any one-on-one safety matchup or any linebacker matchup that he's given anytime. So the corners aren't back there protecting him. He goes over the top, and that's kind of been helping. Shanahan, I think, is starting to see that now and using that wide receiver not only as a running back situation, because they really don't have a healthy running back right now, but also because it helps Kittle get down the field and do what he does best once he gets the ball, and that's yards after catch. So I think what you guys are both saying, they're going to continue to use this game plan going forward. So if you have a Kittle in your roster, it is a healthy playoff situation for you if you're going into the fantasy playoffs. It's I would look to him to 10 targets every single game going forward right now as they try to lock up and get back at least a wild card position out of that NFC West out there. But I think Kittle's a great play. I think he's great. And I was talking crap on him earlier this season, but they finally started how to use him, so it's good. PJ Walker, no Lamar. Let's assume Lamar's not playing and just go from there. Mark Andrews, again last week, decent week. It usually comes late in the game, though. If you guys have noticed in this, Mark Andrews been no factor early in the game, and then all of a sudden, fourth quarter, they just turn to him and like, hey, we got to throw the ball to him 20 times to try to win this game. I don't know if that bodes well. I really don't. If you can game plan this guy out of the game 3 quarters of the game, you can game plan him 4 quarters out of the game. So I don't know if that bodes well, and I don't know what the quarterback situation is. How you guys feel about old Mark Andrews through the playoffs and playing him? Are you going to have a backup sitting on your roster just in case? What are you doing? I'll start with MIA on this one first.
No, I think Andrews, if you drafted Andrews, he was that next tier, kind of below, below Kittle, Kelsey, and Waller. And I think if you have him, I'm not too worried. I think it's he's always going to be kind of. You're right. They do rely on him late in the game, and maybe that should change. I don't think the quarterback issues really affect him too much. But that could be a big, we haven't seen Huntley really play in big games, you know what I mean? So as the season goes on, if Lamar, if the injury's bigger than we thought, maybe with Lamar and Huntley has to be in there, he maybe leans on Andrews a little bit more, maybe less action with Andrews. I still like him though for where you have him, where you drafted him. I'm in on him.
Right. Nunu, where are you at on that?
Yeah, I think there's probably a good reason why he gets time points or whatever. I think Harbaugh intentionally tries to run the ball a ton and eat clock and win and keep games close on running and defense, taking the occasional big shot. And if they are down or close late in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter, they have to all of a sudden have a game plan that involves Mark Andrews. I think if they had a different head coach and different offensive coordinator, he has the talent to be in the big three. I think he's limited by Harbaugh. So I like his talent. and I don't think the quarterback change hurts him that much. I think he's a third and fourth quarter point guy because of their offense.
Okay. All right. So are you guys both feeling good, period, that if you're looking at him playoff-wise, you're starting him through the playoffs, or are you just fearing just a little bit of Lamar Jackson fear maybe for the playoffs?
I'm riding.
I like him. I start him, but I don't think he's a difference maker. I think you get what you get every week.
Do you think his output changes when Lamar's out of the game?
I don't think Harbaugh really changes it much.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think the game plan changes much either.
It looked like Walker threw to him, and PJ Walker I think is the backup, right? I think I keep saying the name, but I think it's PJ Walker is the backup quarterback.
No, that's Carolina's.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Their backup is Tyler Huntley.
Huntley, yeah. He looks serviceable. He looks like he can do Lamar Jackson things, and he's thrown the ball to Andrews even after Lamar's out of the game. So that's where I was kind of coming away with that question.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's definitely talented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Knox. I know MIA dropped some decent stats there earlier about Knox leading tight ends and touchdowns, which is a good thing. So I would assume that means that every person in this room is going to start Knox in any situation going forward, because Knox is clearly a touchdown machine this season. Where are you at if you have Knox on your roster, and even if bad matchups, are you starting Knox going forward the rest of the season? Looks like you're both shaking your head like, yeah. MIA, where are you at on that? Knox is a gold piece for you this week?
Yeah, I'm starting him, and if you know, Knox was under the radar coming into the season. So if you were somehow able to draft him maybe as your second tight end, early and still hold like a Gronk or somebody like that, I would be offloading the higher end one, seeing what I could get with it and keeping Knox, because I think he's going to be a big part of this playoff push for Buffalo.
Yeah, I do too. I think they keep it off. He's taken over their Wes Welker / Beasley, because Beasley's been nowhere most of the season. Knox has kind of taken over that middle section passing game. So, Nunya, where are you at?
I completely agree. Couldn't have said it really any different or better. He's the surprise, or one of the big surprises at the tight end at that positional scarcity spot. Bullish going forward. Josh Allen seems to have a really nice connection with him.
Yeah, he does. The fact that they've been able to score touchdowns with him is something that tells me, because they got two other good receivers that they should be throwing to, but they're throwing to Knox. So they're either being covered, or he's just, like you said, they got a really good connection where he knows where he's going to be at on the field all the time. It's just not that great with Emmanuel Sanders. We know he's got a good connection with Diggs, but something's working there between him and Knox for sure. All right. I'm going to move into tight end projections, and before we start on that, I just want to do a shout out to one of the guys that MIA's kind of talked about a lot this season, Parham Jr. He had a scary injury in that game this week, San Diego game. Man, I honestly thought that was a seizure. I guess it's been listed as a concussion, but that was frightening, dude. He didn't even get hit. His head just hit the back of the field there, and it looked like he had a full seizure. His arms were locked up. It looks like he's going to make a recovery. I do hope there was no lingering effects or anything, but, man, that's one of those things you don't want to see.
Yeah, that was scary.
That
was definitely scary.
Yeah, it was. It was very hard to watch. That's like the one last thing you want to see. I was even saying it during the game. It's hard to imagine anybody would want to play the game after seeing that injury. Like, dude, do I really want to be here and play? But they went through, they played, but I hope best for that guy. He's a young up-and-comer. All right.
I realize there's more. That real quick too. That going back to last week, the moment at the Denver, who they play, the Chargers. Was it the Chargers last week?
Yeah, I think it was the week before.
When they came out with only 10 men on the field and took the penalty.
Oh, Chargers.
First play of the game.
Or Denver, Detroit, I believe. Detroit did an awesome thing.
Is that what it was, Detroit?
Yeah, Denver came out with their 10-man to honor Demaryius Thomas, and Detroit did the respectful thing.
And declined the penalty. Yeah, that was nice. I always like to see stuff like that.
Two teams realizing there's something more about than just the sport.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Bigger than the NFL. That's right.
Yeah. It's a good moment. Well, with that, let's see here. So projections, we talked about it a lot. We talked about him a lot, and we kind of got him here at the top of the projection board. Is Kittle going up against Atlanta? Atlanta's defense, get ready to get rocked, dude. I got a bad feeling about Atlanta's defense this week, man. Okay. I think San Francisco is about to drop one this week. Maybe a 40 burger, maybe a 50 burger. I don't know. We'll see. You guys feeling that way? You think San Francisco might be up there in points this week?
Yeah.
I do.
No question.
Yeah, shoot. Oh, no question or a question? Sorry, I thought we had a question
Oh,
coming.
no question. That's
Gotcha.
like just next.
Oh, we got some Halloween chat going on. All right. Rob Gronkowski going up against Tampa Bay at home. Going up against New Orleans at home. There's so many weapons there. I like Rob Gronkowski for a touchdown each week. I don't know what other targets he gets. That's my only problem with Rob. Red zone, I know he's getting a target. He gets a couple looks up and down the field, but do you think he gets more than 7 targets every game going forward? I guess that's a good question to ask.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he gets 7 to 8 targets a game, and what he does with them is
Touchdown.
You're gonna see weeks like that. Like last week he had 5 for 62. But the Bills have been stingy against tight ends, so it wasn't nothing too unexpected. But just looking here, this
they're kind of easing him back in too. They're not throwing him full board.
Yeah, and they're not gonna overdo him. He's an older guy. They don't need to lean on him. I think if they're in a case where they have to lean on him, you'll still see the Brady and Gronk show if need be. But
for sure, yeah, if they have to throw, they will. None you kind of on the same stair step with that.
Yeah, I think you could be a Vegas bookmaker if we're throwing under overs for targets a week. I think 7's probably a good number right there, but at least 2 of those every week are going to be a red zone target.
Absolutely.
And he's a touchdown hound. They like to have them together. Those two have, you want to talk about long-time chemistry. So I'm bullish.
Anyone also, AB is supposed to be returning as of next week, I think. So be ready. That team gets even stronger the last couple of weeks of the season. Takes away from the number of targets each person gets, but every time when they have AB, those 3 receivers and Gronk on the field, there's a mismatch every single time. There's no way to avoid it. There is a complete mismatch every single time. So Brady just eats it up.
His 3-game suspension is over.
Right. They already said he's returning. They're already talking about it. The team is. Yeah.
That's interesting.
There it is. I'm reading right now from Ian Rappaport. Bucks head coach Bruce Arians is non-committal on Brown remaining with the team following his suspension. So they may cut his butt.
Interesting. I was reading completely different things.
This is 9:21 a.m. today, Rappaport on Twitter.
Charles Robinson earlier this week, and I'm trying to remember who the other Yahoo reporter was. They were basically confirming that they were going to return. Yeah.
I seen it.
That's interesting. But good to know. Thank you for surfing out and finding more info, because I'm interested in that. If AB comes back, they're a Super Bowl strong team.
Yeah, that was just fantasy football FUD they were putting out to get people to hold on to AB.
Oh, okay.
And not make moves. Saboteurs.
Playoffs have arrived. The playoffs have arrived.
No, I cut AB a couple weeks ago.
I did a couple weeks ago. I did too. I wasn't willing to sit
Good
and
news,
wait.
Caesar. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for posting that, Caesar. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that was scary.
Oh, Heidenreich's listening. Scream shirts. Okay, nice. I thought that was a fantasy football question. I was about to be like, Jason, Michael, Scream, or Frankenstein. One starter, PPR. All right. Mark Andrews going up against Green Bay this week, guys. This is a tough matchup. Green Bay's got some decent linebackers. they're not great against the run, but they can stop a little bit of the passing game. Mark Andrews with a backup QB. We were talking good about him, but where do you see Mark Andrews points-wise this week? Where do you think PPR, where is he going to be?
I think he'll be... Go ahead, Nanya.
I'm sorry, I didn't point.
No. My bad. Go ahead, Nanya.
I'm playing him as an up-and-down week kind of guy. This would be one of the weeks I would be a little on him.
Okay.
I always think he's more touchdown dependent, and like you said, kind of a garbage time point guy. I just don't know. Green Bay may be out far enough ahead where it doesn't matter, and he doesn't this week.
Yeah, I agree. If I have him on my roster, I'm starting him. I'm not looking. Yeah, I'm not looking for him though in a daily. I don't think you're getting nearly enough value on him, probably at what his price is.
Yeah.
But I think it's touchdown reliant. I think you're going to get 5 for 56 regardless. You know, something around there. The difference is, does he get you 10 points or does he get you 16, 17 points? Is there a touchdown in there?
Could be just depending on how many times they actually get across the red zone, how many times they get a turnover somewhere, you know, those kind of things too. Being that he is touchdown dependent, he's not going to be the crest of their entire offense. But
Give me just a quick second here.
Sure.
The sun magically popped out, so I'm going to go shut these shades.
okay. Sun will be out
I'm in Niagara Falls.
tomorrow. Hey, see, Hyde, you don't need to apologize for that. That was my bad. I just started reading your comment like it was fantasy. No need to apologize.
Just shows you if you want to write something funny, you can Ron Burgundy him and take a roll.
Right? Yeah, I tend to fall for that, especially on lazy Sunday mornings when I'm a little leftover, I guess is a good word for it. I'm a large leftover pizza right now. What are we rolling into here? Does Zac Ertz? Zac Ertz? I like Zac Ertz. I've liked him since Philly. He gets down to Arizona, and he's kind of been on a tear. He's been working the chains for them when they needed to move the chains the last couple weeks that I've seen. Nanya, where you at on Zac Ertz in Arizona going up against Detroit today and for the rest of the season going forward as a playoff tight end?
Yeah, I was really more bullish on him when he went to Arizona than I was with him mixed up with the Goddard and him in Philly. So I think that was a big boost. I think anybody who drafted him is lucky. And that division got so much closer when they held Kyler Murray out for a few weeks that it's super important for them to win the rest of the way out. There's no rest. I like Ertz this week. I like him the rest of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Am.
No, I was just going to say I love the role that he stepped into over there. I think that was just such a great addition for Arizona.
If you look at Tampa and you compare the offense setup, Tampa, Arizona, now granted there's a mobile cornerback, so it's not the same offense, but when you look at the pieces, Ertz kind of plays that tight end in a 3 wide receiver normal offense in that situation where he's running kind of the same routes, and because of it, you'll see the same kind of production as Gronk with the over-the-top passes over linebackers, some 15-yard inwards and stuff. I do like the way they're using him, and I think he's going to keep producing the rest of the season as long as the other receivers, a majority of them, can stay healthy there in Arizona. When they start losing receivers, his production tends to fall off.
And I think when you look at it, Kyler Murray has been blessed to work with such talent. You know what I mean? He had Fitzgerald there, AJ Green,
stuck with David
Deandre
Johnson.
Hopkins.
He could have been stuck with David Johnson, and some stupid coach in Texas was like, yeah, sure, I'll trade you guys for this running back.
Yeah, and not just great talents. You know, when you think of wide receivers, most great wide receivers are divas. He got to play with 2 of the best as far as human beings and right. Being on their side with DeAndre Hopkins and Fitzgerald, and now you get Ertz with some veteran leadership. Like it's, I think long term for Kyler Murray, it bodes very well.
You bring
this
hungry
guy.
AJ Green over who almost ruined his entire career sitting over there with the Red Rocket, getting nowhere in Cincinnati, so he comes over hungry. It's an interesting mix over there in Arizona. It definitely is.
Absolutely.
But yeah, to get back to the Ertz part of it, Ertz is definitely a nice addition, and he's worked well so far since they've added him. It's definitely up their game a little bit.
Yeah, and he works well with a mobile quarterback as far as moving with him, knowing how to get open. So I like it.
Given to him, yeah.
Yes.
That's the good thing about having a veteran too. Is if they would have drafted a young rookie or been relying on a rookie, you wouldn't have a guy that knows how to like see the zone. Go, okay, I'm gonna sit there for this young quarterback and just give him a target as a safety out. You know, you'll see
exactly, and you see Ertz run a lot of those plays like Kelsey destroys the Raiders with, where it's a touch block, roll off of it, and bam, you know what I mean, a 3-yard little dump off turns into a 12-yard gain now.
On third
and you got the chip block out of it, you know what I mean? It's
save the quarterback a little bit of wear and tear, and you also get the positive yards. Having the veterans tends to be good, especially in those tight end roles, because they know how to do those things.
Big time. And tight ends can be leaders on the field, you know what I mean? Because they're the guys that kind of play both roles, right? They're down in the trenches as far as with the linemen, stuff like that, but they're also, you know,
they can lead both ways. Get dirty or take it to the house. So we saw that in that final play on Thursday night. Walk off. Sorry, I just gotta get that in there one more time.
So we did.
All right. I like this guy. The next guy I'm gonna talk about here, he's an up and comer. I still am blown away by that touchdown catch. I think none of you knows which one I'm talking about, where the dude jumped up like 12 foot in the air and got it off the top of the backboard. Gesicki is a red zone target if I've ever seen one, almost like Calvin Johnson ups. Where are you guys going forward with him? I don't know if Miami makes the playoffs, but I sure feel good about this kid for the next 3 weeks in fantasy playoff situations. Are you guys kind of on that same boat? I'll start with MIA on that one first. He's an East guy.
I like him.
East guy.
I think him and Tua have got something going, and he's just a tremendous athlete. Like you said, he's
a specimen.
Yeah, loads of potential.
We're putting those acronyms on. he's a workhorse. He's a gym rat. He's a spark plug.
First one in, last one out kind of guy. Lunch pail.
Yeah, I mean, my prediction is the team that scores the most points is probably going to win the game.
But truthfully, he's good. He's got hands.
I like him.
He's jump.
He's good. The last time they played the Jets, he had a really good game. So bullish this week as well, but bullish going forward.
So you've already seen a matchup that he can capitalize on, and he's going against him again. So for this week, you know it's a good turn, and then going forward, like MIA said, the Tua connections getting there. It's getting better. They know where they're going to be on the field. They know where to throw the ball so that Gesicki can grab it. Is it Gesicki or Gesicki? Either way. It seems like it's working. I would assume he's going to be the tight end there in Miami for a while. You guys got any more thoughts? I'll move on to the wide receivers. We'll check the Twitter too real quick, see if anything new is coming through. We are about, an hour and a half for the remainder of the show here, so make sure you got them rosters set, because we do got some weird game matchups this week, or weird schedules this week that are going to be changing up. We might get some emergency changes too, I don't know. Let me go to Twitter real quick. I'll check something out. Adam Schefter. Do get a wide receiver currently getting activated for the Washington football team. Daniel Sims is activated. That's new.
Pick him up.
There you go. Go get him.
No, don't do that.
Sign him. Sign him. Yep. No. This is football advice. We're allowed to give that.
Mm-hmm. I do not advise at doing that.
Yeah, I didn't say it was good football advice, but. All right. The Cardinals are 7-0 on the road this season, looking to go 8-0 today with a game in Detroit. This would just be the 9th time they've ever been able to do that. So they're looking to go undefeated on the road this season. I guess if you consider there might be 9 games on the road with the new schedule. It's going to be kind of weird going into week 18.
Hey, there's the birthday boy. It says there's no yawning in fantasy football. Mr. Snappy Tan, happy birthday, my brother. 29 looks great on you.
Happy birthday.
See you. Good morning, man.
It was a nice showing for you this
Birthday.
week already. He's up, I think, about 10 points in the Fantasy Football League. Got a playoff game going already this season, or this week. Good job, Snap. Hope you're enjoying that 29th birthday.
Yeah, hope the weather's good out there in Colorado. Having a good time. That's right. Show that birthday love, guys.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. I tried to sing it like the Happy Dog song.
It's just a happy birthday. I'm just a happy birthday. Close enough. Where's Newfo?
Right? Where's Newfo?
Yes, I love days when Newfo's happy birthday becomes actually reality relevant.
Yeah, this is the one week where I don't get the question of Newfo should he bench Mahomes, and it's the week he plays me. And he puts up 50
Well,
points.
he can't bench Mahomes because he already benched Mahomes on Thursday. So
He played Mahomes.
Well, but he
so we
asked
didn't
me
have
if
to
he should
jump.
bench him. That's what I was getting at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he came to me on Thursday and was like, "Look, I just need to know. Do I need to bench Mahomes this week?" And I just told him.
I would have appreciated it.
If you would have benched Mahomes,
Just saying. I think I would have said, "Yeah, this is the time."
this might be the week. No, it would have been last week when he knocked me out of the playoffs, by the way. But no, he wasn't that nice.
I guess he is in first place for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Because he stole my Patrick Mahomes draft pick. I shouldn't announce my draft picks. I learned that for next year. I'm not going to announce my draft picks. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes first round, but I'm not going to announce my draft. All right. Let's get back to it. We got the tight ends all figured up here, so I'm going to move into wide receivers. Do either of you guys need to take a what you doing with that dog situation or what?
Yeah, let me just take a quick 2 minutes. I gotta just take a leak real quick.
Okay.
I just got a text I gotta deal with for a quick sec. So
Yeah,
thank you.
Happy dog. You got a happy dog. All right, we got you transferred out. Just to let you guys know, we really appreciate those like and subscribes. As always, we are here 24/7 with the stock and crypto market, and we will be back with the crypto market as soon as this one's over. But we'll be the rest of us will be jumping over in Discord to watch some Sunday football action. We do have a short week here in the market this week. Look forward to Birdie and MIA joining us tomorrow morning to get us started. The market will close at 2 p.m. on Thursday Eastern Standard Time and will not be open on Friday. So just be ready. Hope you guys have set yourself up and are ready for that situation. The European markets, I believe, are not affected according to Birdie. So we'll be definitely listening to him this week on what's going to be happening coming up on their side of things. I know he's got a lot of interesting information that's been coming out over the weekend. So make sure you're here tomorrow morning. You'll get the latest and greatest information that's coming in, and we'll definitely try to get up in on that stock market this week. Also, I'll just let you know, crypto was on the rise last night. I haven't really gotten a chance to look at it today, so it looked like we were kind of getting back at it, maybe around the 48,000 per Bitcoin the last time I looked. I could be wrong right now, but make sure you're here after the show if you're keeping an eye on your crypto. That being said, I'm going to flip over to Twitter real quick. Check and see if there's any late additions coming through just yet. We're about a half an hour away before they actually start releasing a lot of the updates, but sometimes you can get a couple slipping through. And actually we are seeing a couple new, there is a lot of reserve lists being added right now. A couple minutes ago, just Baltimore Ravens are adding players to their reserve list. The Bills are adding people to their reserved list. So make sure you're checking your rosters, guys. There could be updates up until the very last minute. I'm going to check a couple other fantasy football type people here. See if anybody's got any more NFL reporting going on. No, I don't need Chance the Rapper. No. Yeah, Cassie, I'm with you on that 100%. Let's hope for a super green week for the traders to have a great Christmas. I agree. 100% want that. All right, we got some good news. Oh, that's the one I reported to you before. That the Washington football team has activated wide receiver Cam Sims. So that he'll be starting, or back on the team. I don't know if he'll be starting. The Ravens have lost cornerback Jimmy Smith. He's going to be down today. So that opens up passing game options for anybody who's playing the Ravens today. I think that's Green Bay. So watch for Adams to have a possible good day. Devonte Adams, because that's their number one corner there in Baltimore. So the Aaron Rodgers, Devonte Adams matchup could be pretty brutal today. Let's see. Shout out to Bills Mafia, who once again donated $442,000 to the Andy and Jordan Dalton Foundation, a nonprofit that supports sick and disabled children and their family. That Bills Mafia always seems to come through with the quarterbacks they play against, so that's pretty cool. All right. We are seeing that Tony Pollard is going to give it a go against the Giants today, barring a setback this morning. Ezekiel Elliott will start, but they're likely to get Pollard a couple dozen snaps, and Corey Clement will play as well. So there's going to be almost like a three-way running back split there in Dallas today. So be ready for that, guys. Come back over here. All right. So we got a little bit of updates on Twitter, and again, keep watching your guys' Twitter just a little bit, or your any of your websites as well, just in case some new things. Because like I said, there's multiple new reserve list players just in the last couple minutes coming through. MIA and Nunya have returned, so I'm going to bring them back in, guys, and I'm going to pop away for just a minute or two. If you have any questions, feel free. Nunya and MIA will take care of you there.
Welcome back.
DJ Rich Saraceno. Sorry, I love saying it too.
Oh, that coming.
There we go. Laura and Jim Cooperman need to start one running back.
DJ Rich Saraceno.
Need to start one running back and one flex in a PPR. Chuba Hubbard, Penny, Chenault, or what's his name? Darren Schultz? I forget his first name. That's the tight end in Dallas, right? Dalton Schultz. There you go. One running back and one flex. I would go Chuba Hubbard, and I would probably go Penny in the second slot there in PPR. Although I don't expect him to repeat his performance last week. I like Hubbard in that matchup against the Bills. What about you, Nunya?
I like Hubbard in that matchup, and I just don't trust Penny, so I would go with Schultz. Also, the Giants' secondary is gone, completely decimated by, you know what? So nobody can play. They're on injured reserve. They're not hurt. I would go Hubbard because of the matchup, and he's going to be the workhorse, and Schultz. So here is a field Yates. This is how short-handed the Ravens are today against the Packers. 17 players on IR.
Wow.
On the special IR. 13 on the regular IR. That's 18. So his math is wrong. But that's 18. That's really short-handed. if you guys are going to the sports book, you might want to take that into account.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Just saying, just saying.
Trying to see if there's
Some
any
of us.
news here.
May or may not have an offshore account that I can get the current on that.
What is the spread on that game? I mean, it's essentially legal in most places. I'm still waiting for DraftKings to officially launch in New York State their actual sports bet, the sports book, not just the fantasy football. But they keep promoting it that it's coming by the end of the year.
Yeah, I've read it's happening in, like, on a state by state basis. They're rolling it out, so there are some. So yeah, that Ravens game is now all the way up to -9 for the Packers, and it started at 7.5. So people are onto it already.
Yeah, because we got we've only had it for 2 years, maybe 2 or 3 years, but we got a sports book in the casino here.
If we leave the state of Ohio and go into Indiana, every casino has a sport. So
Oh, nice.
people are leaving Kentucky into Indiana. People are leaving Ohio into Indiana, and they're spending days there and spending money there. And the Indiana restaurants and hotels and casinos and gas stations and everything are getting paid money that aren't going to the other states. The other states are going to catch wind of this. It's going to spread.
Crypto
Is
says so. Is Green Bay in it?
Sure looks that way.
Yeah, I would say it looks pretty promising for him.
There's always the chance of that bookie fix.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's always that chance they could lose by 7.
Green Bay's favored by 9 on the road. If we're looking for just a win, I would take a money line. Money line, you have to bet $425 to win 100. That's the kind of favorite they are on the money line.
Oh, that's weird, Cassie. You can bet online, but have to be in the casino. Yeah, I don't know that. I think my casino, they were working on like an online being able to. I don't know if you would, but I think that was a stipulation with ours too. Was like you can use the app like in the casino or something, so you don't have to actually go up. Like they have like a little lounge, and I think you can put your bets in like digitally, but only if you're there, which is kind of strange.
That is weird.
I completely agree, Caesar. I think a lot of people do. If you've spent any time around sports books, over time, it's scary how many times those numbers land within a half a point. How that hook makes a difference.
Yes.
There are definitely, if you spend some time, there are some key numbers. Less so now that it's more on analytics and people are going for 2, and who knows, tinfoil hat, if they're affecting the kicking game or not. But nobody can kick anymore.
I have
Vegas
a
knows
conspiracy
their
theory.
numbers are so close.
I think they're manipulating the balls, but that's just me. That's my YouTube deep 3-hour conspiracy hole.
Could be very easily.
I think they've been trying to get rid of the. I know this is a little off topic, but I think they've been trying to get rid of the kicking game for a couple years, and they've manipulated the ball on certain kicks just so that kickers will mess up, so that they can say, "Hey, look, we don't need kickers no more. We can get 2 points, and the game's more exciting." Just me. I don't know. NFL seemed to do stuff like that before, but
I like kicking. I think if any aspect of kicking should be changed, it should be kickoffs. I think if they're really about player safety the way that they say they are, kickoffs would have been eliminated a long time.
I think if they have kickers around and they're paying kickers hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars, they got to go, well, we got to give them more than something to do than just kick, so we have kickoffs. Punters don't usually do kickoffs, so if you want to get rid of kickoffs, one of the ways to do it is to get rid of kickers. If you don't need
Kickoffs and punts are
I'm
giant
surprised.
positions.
I'm surprised there's not more hybrids. You know what I mean? If I'm growing up, I'm training to be a kicker. I'm learning to do both. It's like a switch hitter. You know what I mean? Hey, give me one contract. I'll handle all the kicking.
I don't think they like that though. Teams don't like that because if you get hurt on a punt or a kick, you put them
That's
out in
true.
two
Yeah.
situations.
And I'm sure, you know, I've kicked field goals and punted before on a very, very, very amateur level. Like, I'm sure it's when you get to a world class level
Right.
like those guys are at, I'm sure it's a complete different skill set.
Specialized.
Yes.
They don't want a guy that's a mixed bag. Yeah, they want specialized. Yeah.
I mean, remember for a while there, Nunya, you remember him? Remember when teams would even have a third kicker in some situations? Brad DeLuiso. I remember the Bills had Brad DeLuiso for a time where he just did kickoffs.
Kickoff specialist. Yeah. Yep.
Crazy.
His leg was longer, more directional. You know, just better kickoff, better. Yeah. We don't really have too many questions today in the chat, but if you guys do need anything answered, go ahead and send it in to us. I know the fantasy playoffs are starting, so a lot of questions could be forming. In the meantime, I did check Twitter a couple times while I was on break there. It looked like everything I was reporting on kind of stayed the same. I don't know if you guys saw anything new. But it just looked like a bunch of more reserve list additions coming in the last couple minutes, so we'll keep an eye on that. Let's do some receivers here. I did notice one thing that I saw, and we'll talk about that in this very first recap coming up. Devonte Adams is playing against Baltimore today, and Jimmy Smith is out now. That's a big deal for Devonte Adams not being covered by him in the back shoulder fadeaway championship there.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a big day today.
Yeah,
Devontae.
I do too. And he's on the top of our list basically on both of these lists coming up. He was on recap from last week, and he's on our projections list for this week, and I think it just jumped up even higher knowing that the best corner in Baltimore is now out. Devonte Adams, 24.1 points last week. You guys were going to, of course, we're all big on him. I'll just get your opinions here. We can just kind of talk about, give him some green, some gush time, I guess would be a good thing to call it. Start with you, Nunya. What are you feeling on Devonte Adams the rest of the season? Do you think he sits some of the games once they lock up a playoff spot? What do you think they're doing?
I don't think he sits. I think him and Aaron have that love connection. I think the only thing that stops him is possibly really, really bad home field weather.
Okay.
That's my caution.
I like that point.
Trying to draft him early in the season. Otherwise, stud, top 3, 4, 5 guy every single week. I expect him to score.
Yeah, I think you see 10 targets every single week, no matter what. Where are you at, MIA, with Devonte Adams going forward for the rest of the season? We're all big on him, of course. It's just a matter.
Yeah,
of
I don't think he slows down. Yeah, I think teams will fight tooth and nail unless somebody gets some kind of separation to lock up that number 1 seed. I think it's going to be Hunger Games style. Everybody fighting for that, and it's like, we talked about it before. Do you rest a guy week 17 or week 18, or do you push him so that you have that week of rest? What would be week 19? You know what I mean? You get that bye, and with only one bye up there, and with things as tight as they are, it could go very easily right down to the last week.
I don't think any team in the NFC or AFC for that matter, but the NFC specifically, wants Tampa Bay with that bye. I don't think anybody wants Tampa Bay with that bye.
I agree.
So I think anybody in the NFC that has a chance at that bye is like what you're saying. They are not sitting players. They are going after that bye because there's not 2 of them this year. There's only 1. And
you don't want to give Tom Brady a week to prepare for the playoffs.
Nope.
You know what I mean? On both the age tip as far as rest and just as far as
you want that whole team beat up.
preparation.
You want that whole team playing a 19th game or an 18th game before you have to play them.
It's the same thing with New England. Like New England stumbled last night against the Colts, but I still put them in the same situation. You don't want you don't want to give Belichick a week to prepare.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
Or Andy Reid for that matter. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just to carry on what you're saying. I don't want to see New England on a week's bye either. I really don't. I don't care if it's a rookie quarterback or not. I don't want to see that defense after sitting there for a week watching film, going, "Oh, this is their most likely thing to do. Let's stop that," because that's what he.
I mean, I do think by week 17, like I said, if somebody gains, a 2-game lead or something, if some things happen where somebody's a clear cut, I think we can absolutely see. Some people sitting down the stretch, especially with, I think that's the opposite side of that, not of only having one bye. You'll have a different group of people kind of falling back once that thing's taken. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's first year with a lot of things.
This. Yeah, we've never seen it play out, so we don't really know. We're kind of trying to anticipate it, but you're right. Once that first bye locks up, what do we expect? Does everybody just go into, okay, well, I'm in the 2-seed mode. Sit 'em,
yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
I'm interested to see if we see any injuries pile up in week 18. You know what I mean? Not just a different playoff pitcher. That's a big thing too. But now we also have that extra game, which doesn't seem that big of a deal. But you're talking about, what's one out of 1/16th, like 8%, something like that. You're talking about adding on
when teams go on these runs where they go playoff 3-4 years in a row. They're adding 3 and 4 games to their season each year, and that does tear down players after a couple years in a row. Now you're adding one every season plus playoffs. Yeah, you could see teams after 2 years now, instead of making 3-year playoff runs, they might have hurt players that get hurt now, and they only make it to 2 playoff runs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're right, though, in that sense. That adding one more game, we don't know what the effect is yet, but we can assume what it is because we already see what happens when team 2 playoffs and stuff. So I'm going to be watching that week 18 injuries for sure. I like that.
Anna knows what happens when Coach Bob comes in a room. Robert Harris.
Oh.
Harris.
Robert Harris.
Come and rock me, Robert Harris.
Good luck today, buddy.
All right.
Good luck, Robert Harris.
that was the try song, Robert Harris. You may never get that one ever again. Specialty just for your Christmas special. The Christmas Merkle. All right, so Tyler Lockett over there in Seattle. It's probably been the only thing that's worked since Russell came back. Really deep-wise connection. I'm still weary holding this guy and using him as a playoff standard just because I don't know what to really expect out of Russell. Where are you guys on Tyler Lockett if you hold him in a roster that's going into fantasy playoffs?
I think you're in a real tough spot with him this week. He may be able to play because it's Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. What about
depending on how certain? I mean, going forward, I like him. That's Russ's boy. If Russ is clicking on even one cylinder, it's going to be with Lockett.
It's like a 40-yard
so if he's on the field
every week.
Yeah,
Seahawk, I would play.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. But like I said, it's with it being Tuesday. It's you're putting yourself in a tough spot depending on if you have to start somebody over him before there because you simply don't know what's going to happen if he's going to be able to play or not.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared. I love Lockett. I've got him on 2 of my teams, but I'm scared of him because I just don't know which Russell shows up. I want to guess which Russell's going to show up, but it is a 40-yard pass no matter what every single week. You can put Lockett in. You may not be a touchdown, but you're getting a 40-yard. At least in our leagues, you're getting that 40-yard buffer. But I don't know. It does freak me out. If I had him on a roster for the rest of the season, I'm looking at the weekly matchups right now. I'm looking to see who's putting a good pass rush on Russell, and if there's no pass rush that I feel is going to be frightening, I might play Lockett. But if there's like a San Francisco pass rush or a Bosa or one of these guys coming after Russell, I'm watching out on that matchup 100% because I just don't want to see an offer like Nunya was saying. I can't afford an offer right now. And I do see there's a chance that Lockett could pitch you an offer or a 4-point game or something like that just because of a pass rush. But I don't know. Is anybody else seeing it that way, or you both just still feel good that he's just he's the safe guy at that point, no matter what the rest of the playoffs?
I think if he's on the field and Russ is on the field, I like him. I mean, there's definitely other receivers I would start over him. But if I got him and he's, probably my wide receiver too, maybe even a flex. If he's out there, I'm rolling with him. Yeah, there's definitely a chance Caesar C. It all depends on if he passes the exam. If he studied.
Yeah. If they can take 2 in a 24-hour period and they come up clean, they're good. All right, Jamar Chase.
Caesar question.
Is this the... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
All right, just want, before it ran off the screen, we have a Bucks or Niners D from Caesar.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't see that. Ooh. I don't think I want to play against Alvin Kamara on a defense. I think that answers my answer to that one. I don't want to go up against Alvin Kamara.
Niners been on a tear, playing against not a great offense. I go with the Niners.
MIA's deep thinking this one.
What did I miss? I don't see it.
It's Bucks or Niners for a D.
Bucks or Niners D from Caesar.
I'm going back looking. I don't know why I didn't see. Man.
Bucks New Orleans. Yeah.
I got to go with San Francisco there. They can force Matt Ryan into mistakes.
I kind of agree with that.
That's unanimous.
And I just think that it's a boat race where it sets Atlanta up into a passing situation where their 3 and outs going to be possible there, and the Niners could either get picks or just keep them off the field.
Although we've seen how many picks did what's his name throw that other week?
4.
Yeah, so
true.
It's see the tough thing.
30.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, agree with you that.
But I agree. I don't want to play against Kamara. Kamara this time of year, we've seen him go beast mode before.
Remember last Christmas?
Yes, I do. I do.
Last Christmas.
As a matter of fact, I do.
5 touchdowns. Just saying. So they know what to do this time of year, and they know how to do it. If Kamara's healthy, I would assume, and they're in the dome, you're playing against Kamara. You're not playing against New Orleans Saints. You're playing against Kamara if he's healthy. So that's the way I see it. All right, so Jamar Chase.
The nice thing, Caesar, is you got those guys both play Tuesday at 7.
Got time.
So you'll be able to make a game time decision
more info, more everything.
with Smith or Lockett.
Yep. Jamar Chase. Is this Rookie of the Year? That's the first question I'll put to both of you. Is he Rookie of the Year? Do you see it that way? None yet?
Offensive, yeah. I mean, I think Micah Parsons takes it if we were just looking for one, but offensive Rookie of the Year, Player of the Year, I think it's him.
Oh,
none of the high quarterbacks did it. Mac Jones possibly, but I don't think so.
Where are you at, MIA?
I agree both with the offensive and defensive players. None you just said. I think those are your Rookie of the Years there on both sides of the ball.
This is off topic, but I'm going to bring it back around because you did say the name. Parsons. Is Diggs an element because of Parsons, or is Diggs a possibility? Again, we're talking about Dallas defense here. Or is that guy just that good, or is he only that good because Parsons is getting pressure?
Chicken or the egg, huh?
Right? What comes first? Good coverage downfield makes a good pass rush, or good pass rush allowed for the coverage to be good? They're both rookies. They're both playing outstanding. To think that Dallas drafted both of them is amazing. They could become a defensive team instead of an offensive team. But, man, yeah, I think Parsons is Rookie of the Year, but I think Diggs has got just as much chance to become that Rookie of the defensive Rookie of the Year.
I think they go hand in hand. I think they play off each other. I think both I think they're both great players by themselves, but I think they both kind of benefit each other. You know what I mean?
Been fun to
watch. It's a draft
watch.
class that's going to haunt the NFC East for a long time.
Agreed. Yeah, especially if that kid turns out to be good for 2 and 3. Parsons is going to be good. There's no question. Cornerbacks are a little bit different. You see them for 1 year, they might be good, and teams kind of, okay, we're not going to throw at this dude no more anymore. We see what he can do. And then
the interceptions fall. You know, the interception numbers
fall off.
Aren't always. Yeah, you look at like Revis. You know, what I mean, when he was at the top of his game, he was at the top of his game.
Nobody
he
would
was
throw.
One of the best. Yes, exactly. So you're not getting. They fall off in the sense of they stop being kind of talked about because they're not putting up numbers because no one's throwing at him. But
Well,
he's.
In Diggs' situation, you got quarterbacks that come in. They go, "Oh, look, this team's stupid enough to start a rookie cornerback in an isolated position. Go after him." And he did the right. They went after him, and he won. Let's put it that way. They went after him, and he was like, "No, I'm taking that ball. No, I'm taking that one. That one's mine." Yeah, he's playing great. And most teams go after rookie cornerbacks because they're like, "Oh, this is a weak part on their team." Not in Dallas's case. They found somebody who's good. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. The numbers will fall down next year. He won't get that many balls thrown at him because teams will know. I wouldn't imagine going into the playoffs teams test him very much anymore because it's not worth the chance, really. You see what he can do in the regular season. But we are way off topic, and I'm sorry I brought all this up. I just I like the Rookie of the Year conversation. So going back to Chase, I'm big on him for being Rookie of the Year, at least in the AFC. Even over offense, I just think Rookie of the Year, he's led his team to somewhere they've never been for a while. So I'm big on him for Rookie of the Year. But let's talk about playoff going forward for fantasy playoffs and the rest of the playoffs too. Where do you see Jamar Chase scoring weekly? And are you starting him again in that situation where in an AFC is kind of like the NFC where everybody's still got a chance? So they're probably not sitting anybody in those last couple of weeks. And I'd imagine this guy is going to get playtime and catches. Where are you guys at on each 3 weeks left? Where do you see him doing the next 3 weeks? I'll start with Nunya here for the Cincinnati boy, Ohio.
Burrow's just going to throw to him. So I don't see a production problem. I might see a problem. Occasionally playing in this division, you wind up in Cleveland or Cincinnati or Pittsburgh, and it's just snowy, yucky, rainy, windy, and affect it, although I think Burrow is still going to have the shots to him. You could get really hurt in the playoff, in the big game, in a snowstorm, and they just run. So I'm bullish. I like him. Rookie of the Year. A little scared in the playoffs.
MIA?
Yeah, I think it's with another thing with rookies this year is you always have them playing a more extended season than they ever have in college or anything like that, and I think we'll see what he's capable of down the stretch as far as remaining healthy, remaining 100%. But yeah, I think Burrow's going to keep pushing him the ball, and I still think it's going to be a Joe Mixon based offense down the stretch, but we'll see Burrow airing it out, and I think when he does, he can throw it all over the field. You know what I mean? He's not a I don't know. I like him down the stretch. I think they're gonna be the team. I'm not sold on Pittsburgh. I'm not sold on Cleveland. Baltimore, I think down the stretch without Lamar is going to be a problem if there's a bigger issue. But yeah, I like Chase down there. If I have him, I'm starting him. If you got him, especially if you drafted him early and kind of drafted him on potential, you got him at a good spot.
And I'll be fully transparent. I was here wrong about Diggs. Diggs was drafted in 2020. This is his second season. He's not a rookie this year, so I just want to make sure I was corrected on the in the chat there by see if I can find the name again.
Zuhaib, who also has a question that we shouldn't pass.
Sure.
Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley, or Zeke, he needs to start too.
Ooh. Okay.
So what do you guys think? How do you think Pollard's playing, but they say he's banged up? Do you think we're going to see running back by committee over there?
They already said it's committee of three. Corey Clement.
That's what I mean.
Time, yeah.
So that I go Aaron Jones and Saquon.
You got to go with the two actual starters, yeah. We know Dylan is going to get a little bit of time, but I would rather split time with one running back than split time with two other running backs. So you got to go Saquon and Dylan there. You gots to. But thank you for Zihab. Thank you for mentioning that. I did check on that, and you were right. All right, so we moved through Chase here. We all kind of agree that Chase is up there in the rookies. He's definitely helping that offense out 100%. So that's gonna be interesting to see what Cincinnati can do in the years going forward. If they can continue to build, or if they fall backwards. I don't want to see that happen. We've seen what happened with Cleveland. They built up and then pooped the next year. So they're kind of climbing back, by the way. But either way, all right. Let's move into wide receiver projections here. The Cup. Man, I wish I would have drafted this kid. He was staring at all of us late into the drafts and most drafts. He was staring at us. And he's turned out to be basically the number one receiver all season. So Cooper Kupp, you got him. He's on your roster. You got the Rams, who are pretty close to trying to get to that first place, but you can almost guarantee they're going to play every single game of the season strong the rest of the way. Cooper Kupp is your man. I'm going to ask this for an actual point. What do you think he's going to get? Nunya, each week, what's an average point situation that you think Cooper's going to get you?
I think he's a high teens guy with 20 possibility. I mean, he's that kind of, especially in that offense. He's an animal, and you're right. I regret not grabbing him. There were a couple times where I was like, I can float him. And does that hurt now?
Mm-hmm. He's carried people. He's gotten some people into the playoffs just on his back alone. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I think 15, 16 is his floor. I think he's getting, 7 for 80 minimum, and then you throw a touchdown in there. Or you throw these, much bigger games that he's had, obviously, but I think that's the floor.
He's got that yak. You can count the target, but you don't know what the yards are that he's going to necessarily have because he's got so much yak after he catches it that.
Yeah.
He could go for 220 yards or he could go for 80 yards on 10 catches. That's the weird thing.
And he hasn't had less than 9 targets in a game this year.
That's amazing. Averaging 9 targets
13 games. Yeah.
That's a big output of your offense right there. That's over 100 passes in a season to one guy, and it's not even through the season yet.
And he's caught 113 of those 159 targets.
Wow.
That's pretty good. That's obviously not drops, but that's still a pretty good.
What has he got TDs right now? Is he 9?
12.
12 TDs. Leading the TDs for wide receivers, yeah.
Yeah, he's having a hell of a year.
Points on the board. I was calling this out earlier this season when we first started this show. Matt Stafford was going to be a situational changer. It changed. It definitely got him in a situation, and the Rams needed it.
And he's up there. I think Josh Allen right now is the number one overall. Herbert might be ahead of him now because he played another game. But going into this week, Allen, and that was just on the rushing yards and the rushing touchdowns.
Stafford stepped up.
Teaser with that late breaking. Ertz is officially in.
Okay, thank you.
Just did see the Jets healthy scratch Ty Johnson, which if you're a Michael Carter guy, it just shows how much more faith they have in his health. A healthy scratch Ty Johnson. They only have 2 running backs.
That might make me
second. Tevin Coleman.
Evan Coleman.
There was a question earlier this morning about a Carter running back situation, knowing that they're down their number 2 or even
that makes you kind of think. I agree.
Yeah, you kind of assess that a little bit differently if you're a holder of Carter there.
John Connor as well, or James Conner. I always want to say John Connor.
So do I. No fate.
He's officially in.
No fate, but what we make of our own.
Mm-hmm.
It took a second, but you got it.
I got it.
Come with me if you want to run. That's what he should say every time he gets to the line. Come with me, Mr. Blake. All right. We talked about Devonte Adams. We can kind of skip over this, but Devonte Adams against Baltimore's defense. No Jimmy Schmitz today. I think this is the back shoulder demo show all day long today, guys. Yeah. Watch those sidelines, watch that quick bob, and then watch underneath receivers. Once they hit that up, Aaron Jones screen passes could be deadly in this game because of it. I see Green Bay whipping butt this week. I really do. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I think this is a game that Green Bay comes to town and shows the NFC, watch out. We're here. We're not going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's a team Baltimore doesn't normally see, and it's gonna be a good game. I'm almost interested to watch this game more than any of them. Plus, there's no Chiefs.
And
So.
remember all those we saw that are out. 17 or something, 18 players out. Baltimore is banged up beyond banged up.
Mm-hmm. It could hurt them. This week can hurt their standings in the AFC big time. If they would have lost last week, it would have hurt real bad. But this game can end up hurting them, even though it's an AFC versus NFC game. It still can put them in a bad situation. All right, let's. I want to talk about the best route runner in the NFL, Mr. Justin Jefferson. He might be up there with McLaurin's up there probably with him, and so's this Chase kid. But I still think Jefferson, for his size and his route running abilities, probably one of the best wide receivers we got.
Just makes it look so easy.
Yeah.
It's just always open.
It's just weird. Like, I mean, the guy's a beanpole. And he's able to do it. He's like Randy Moss part 2. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Right.
Where you at with Justin Jefferson? If you have
I
him,
love him. He kind of I see him reminding me of some of the routes he runs, like Calvin Johnson, man. Where it's just like how you watch him, where it's like, especially with
It's a really good
with Thielen
comparison.
out, it's like you see him have him, you see him scheme to double cover the guy, and he still runs a route where he ends up open, and he's a joy to watch. Like
It's fun to watch. Yeah. It really is.
Those routes, it's like I'm digging some routes. Routes at a different kind of level, more intricate, smaller. But like this guy, he can stretch the field. He can do it all. Jefferson. I'm so sold on him for the future. I think if Minnesota post Kirk Cousins doesn't get a quarterback in that's kind of tailor made for Justin Jefferson, if they can keep him and Dalvin Cook around, that team could be good for a while. I think Cousins is still overrated. I think he's just a product of having talent around him. I think they could still upgrade at the quarterback slot, but he's produced okay this year.
Give Mac Jones that receiver. What does Mac Jones do with that timing receiver? He's a timing receiver. He's a route runner. Like, you give a pocket quarterback Justin Jefferson, and Kirk's Cousins a decent pocket quarterback. He's just not a winner, But you give a winner that kid, you're looking at the new receptions leader, I think, in the NFL that year, right then and there. Bam. I just feel really good about this kid. He's just amazing. None of you, do you have any thoughts?
I mean, pretty much exactly what you're saying. Although this year, I'm giving Kirk Cousins, regular season Kirk Cousins, a little more credit.
Okay.
I still don't have any faith in him in the postseason, but he's slinging it. I mean, he's having a great season. That helps. I think Jefferson's helping him have that great season. But I am so bullish on Jefferson in the future. Like you said, it's fun to watch this guy run. It doesn't matter if there's shades and safeties to him.
Yeah.
He catches balls in stride. Just fun to watch. He's a really, really fun, good wide receiver.
There is somebody there that no one talks about. That's quietly having a nice little season too, that Kirk's been throwing to a lot this season. Actually, there's two guys, Conklin and K. Osborne. If you go look at targets for K. Osborne as a wide receiver, he's on the free agency list, and he's got a pretty good amount of targets and receptions that you could almost pick him up and play him as an emergency flex or emergency third wide if you're in a stretchy league, it's got extra wide receivers. But I've been keeping an eye on K. Osborne and Conklin as well. Conklin's touchdown.
Conklin gets his looks.
Yeah, he gets his looks, but he's still one of those touchdown-dependent tight ends. But emergency stuff, man. You're right in the sense that Kirk Cousins' regular season is having a pretty good season throwing the ball this year. He really is. And they've been forced to with Dalvin Cook getting injured and having to run Madison a lot. They've been forced, so. I like
great.
Do.
Glad you're still awake, brother. Stay with us.
Drink them Red
Yes,
Bulls.
be safe out there, D-Grade.
I can't sing the song. I forgot the song all of a sudden.
Grab another Red Bull, brother.
Do.
There it was. All right. Let's talk about this running back, Deebo Samuel. I mean, wide receiver. Wide receiver, Deebo Samuel. Where are you guys at with Deebo Samuel going forward the rest of the season? We talked about some George Kittle getting the love up there, but Deebo is just as much as their offense as George Kittle is, in my opinion. At least right now he is. If you have Deebo Samuels, are you happy for the rest of the season, you think? Are you in a good position? Barring health.
I love him.
230-pound running back that can play wide receiver at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
Nunya, where you at with Deebo?
He's schemed in to run the ball too, like you were mentioning earlier. I'm just a big fan. I'm way more bullish late in the season than I was early in the season. I always knew he had good hands, but the way Shanahan's using him more and more now, I expect him and those teens to be his floor. He's that kind of guy. Just put him in your lineup.
I'm anti-49er in a lot of senses. Like, I don't want to put 49ers on my offense. And it wasn't until about 6 weeks ago when I was like, Deebo? You know what I mean? I kind of started looking like, if he was out there, would I grab him? And now I would. Now, like you're saying, because they are rostering him as a running back / wide receiver, and they are purposely scheming to get him ball situations where he's not catching it, but just to get him looks, I'm all about him right now. And I think anybody who's got him, be ready. You're going to get some buffer points in the next couple of weeks. I think you're going to get some nice outputs from all their weapons that they have. Ayuk, Kittles, and Deebo. That's their weapons.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. No doubt. Arctic Fox, Alaska.
Okay.
Any updates coming through? We got one more receiver to go through, and then we'll be getting into our tight ends. Anybody seeing any updates? And what's your thoughts?
I'm looking. I'm not seeing anything new.
Did see Janoris Jenkins is out for Tennessee, so while we're not bullish on Big Ben, it helps Pittsburgh's receivers. He is definitely their number one corner out. So that helps Pittsburgh's wide receivers for sure.
Deontay, Chris Claypool, what's the third one over there? I'm kind of forgetting his name right now.
Oh, DeAndre Hopkins may be available for the NFC Championship game or Super Bowl if the Cardinals advance, huh?
Yep. Maybe that's just some load up just to keep everybody's hopes up. I don't know if I'd want him to come back and play in a game if he wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? Because he might actually drag your offensive down by that time. You're going to be on a roll, hopefully. But all right, let's do Chris Godwin here, and then we'll jump over to quarterbacks. Chris Godwin going up against New Orleans. Do we get a question? Oh, sorry.
I think I'm reading Tony Pollard. Oh no, he's active. He got bunched in with a bunch of inactives, but they said as expected, Pollard will play against the Giants.
Okay.
So he's definitely playing. They just lumped him in with a bunch of people, including their left tackle is inactive.
Caesar coming in with a little bit of news here. DJ Moore is active. Thank you. Appreciate that, Caesar. All right, so we got no Antonio Brown yet. You do got Evans. You do got Godwin. I think we've discussed this a lot this year. And you got Gronkowski. It's almost like a week-to-week thing in Tampa. Wherever the mismatch is, Brady's going to go with it. But you know you're going to get some points for Godwin. Are you starting Godwin every single week going through the rest of the season, or is it kind of just matchup dependent? I'm to the point where I have to start him because I'm just in a bad situation, but I would be
starting him. He seems like he's become Brady's
wide receiver.
That he's the number one. I think it's you're gonna still have games where Mike Evans outscores him. But I think he's the clear cut. And I mean, it's tough because there's a lot going around. You got Gronk, you got Fournette, you got Mike Evans.
They run reverses to both of them. They run
Yeah.
RPOs to both of them, Godwin and Evans, so it's like they can just mix it up at any time. They're interchangeable, but Godwin does seem like he gets more targets. I'd have to look it up, but I think Godwin does get more targets weekly. Nunya, where are you at on that one?
With you guys, I mean, it's going to be, they're going to scheme to take advantage of what they can. Godwin's great, so you kind of have to start him. But you may wind up with a week where he just doesn't get all the points. I'm more bullish on Evans and Gronk than I am on Godwin.
Okay. I see Evans getting more play action plays. It seems like Evans seems to stretch the field when they do the play action deep passes than it is Godwin, but Godwin seems to get more like the 10-yard ins, the 15-yard outs and stuff like that, like the actual routes, whereas Evans seems to be the 9 route. You just go buddy, go. But yeah, I like Godwin. I think it's a good. I think it's safe play. Anybody Tom Brady's going to regularly throw the ball to is basically a safe play.
Yeah, if you got Evans or Godwin this time of the year, I think
you're in a good position. Yeah, especially if you're Gronk and your name's Nunya. All right. Just I want to make sure you can still see me. It says OBS reconnection successful. All right, cool. Again, we'll probably try to shut this bad boy down in about 40 minutes. So we're going to check on updates and everything, guys, and keep you loaded up for... Now we're getting a spinny circle. I think that's what that was all about.
Yeah.
We'll give it a second. That's probably my YouTube reloading. Double check and make sure real quick. Hold on. Yeah, we have an excellent connection again. Okay, yeah, spin's over. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. That was my OBS having a little problem there. Should be back now. All right. Did MIA have to step in?
Better than Cam. Oh, I got another spinny.
Oh, really? Okay. Hopefully that's just it all getting seamed out. Did MIA have to step away for a second there?
Yes.
Okay.
Harrison, if you can hear us, I would start Mike Evans over Van Jefferson on a normal basis. The Rams did reactivate Odell Beckham Jr. He did pass the test that he had to pass. Those are reasons why I wouldn't start Van Jefferson. I like Mike Evans, and as we were saying, we like the Tom Brady matchup to Evans.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, sorry. Transition.
No spin on his end, so we're good. We're clear. Thank you. Thank you, Loki.
All right. Thank you very much. But yeah, just to get back to what I was saying, we'll get everything wrapped up here probably about the next 30 minutes. We'll get you back to the crypto stream. If you guys want, you can join us in the Discord for some Sunday football. And then we'll be back to stocks tomorrow morning. We'll have a nice holiday week, and we hope everybody joins us here. When MIA returns, we'll get into the QBs, and we'll finish out the show. But if you have any fancy questions or anything, feel free to put them up here in the chat, and we'll get them answered out to you. Nunya, what are your plans for the week going forward? Are you off work this week? Are you fully working and still going to be trading? What are you doing?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday work, but at least I'm home. It's home office, so I can do my work and
enjoy the show.
And trade kind of deal from home. I'm off Thursday, Friday, which is great. Last week was annoying. I was away, and not only was I away, but too far away from the market. I couldn't watch. I couldn't trade. It was terrible. So much better this week.
Oh, sorry.
If I remember correctly, you're off, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm off. I'm probably off till after New Year's, from what it's sounding like. I'm supposed to check back after Christmas, but checking back after Christmas to ask about the week before New Year's is basically Yeah, off till New Year's. So
the beginning of the year, right?
nobody wants to walk onto a job site in between Christmas and New Year's. No foreman wants to have to break in a new guy on a job site in between that week. There's already so much hassle going on, so I'm just assuming I'm off until after New Year's, if not farther. But I'm gonna have some fun here in the chat and playing with the fam and spamming some people and just having some fun.
Yeah.
Have some fun hanging out with Adam E. I haven't got to do so much hanging out during Adam E's shows because I'm usually at work, and that's usually when my day kind of picks up, or I'm driving home and showering and stuff like that. So I'm hoping to be home and get to chill with Adam E a lot, and I always get to listen to MIA and stuff too. But it'll be fun. I think I got a couple shifts this week as well, so it'll be a nice week to be on. I think you got a couple shifts in the evenings, right? I might be handing off to you.
I get a handoff from Adam E Monday night, so I get a 5 o'clock shift. And then I get a handoff from you Wednesday. I get an 8 o'clock shift.
So we'll see you maybe after for fantasy football after you have a shift on Monday. Possible? You probably go eat dinner.
I'll be coming into the games. I have a 5 to 8 shift, so I think the game started at 8 Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but go eat dinner or whatnot. Say hi to the wife because that shift that's right after work. Well, you're home all day too. Never mind, you're not like me.
I'm gonna coming up from the basement to my office,
basically
my bat cave. So the commute isn't terrible. It's 2 flights of stairs.
D-Grade says 3 more hours and he'll be off for the day. Good. I hope you get where you're going safely and then get some rest after that. Get some food in. One
more Red Bull and stick with us for company, brother. We got you. Keep them eyes awake.
Yep. And Nunya, what was I was about to ask, now I forget what I was going to ask you, darn it. Because I know you're home all week, and then you got we did the Christmas thing. Forget it. I forget what I was going to ask. MIA has returned. That's a great question, wasn't it? So, Nunya, yeah.
Questions that was just answers, Odie.
Right, yeah, who was?
Jeopardy here. Nothing but answers.
Good times. All right, I'm gonna bring you back in here, MIA, and then I'm gonna swap us into the.
Robin, whatever, says he would rather watch football than eat. That's,
20 years. He knows me well.
Yes. Good morning, Robin. If I didn't say that, D-Grade's not tired. 3 hours, he'll be done for the day. Okay.
You got a little bit of time left. Yep.
Yeah, push through it, D-Grade. Just be safe, my man. That's all.
Man, I forget what I was gonna ask. It was kind of important too. I've been waiting all day to ask this. Darn it. It'll hit me right after we get off the show.
I was going to say, the second that you click this back to the crypto stream, you're going to be like, damn it, Nunya, what? And then you're going to ask him.
Yeah, I'll ask him in the messages or something. I really wanted that to be on the show. All right. We got any questions coming through or anything? D-Grade saying he's not tired. Good.
Not seeing any new news.
I'm glad you're not tired, D-Grade. That's awesome.
Really new.
No, I haven't seen any new news either.
All the news came through midweek.
We got about a half an hour left here. We'll go through this and then we'll kind of chill with you guys.
Here's the news. Here's a little bit of news. Emmanuel Sanders inactive.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rex Burkhead active. DJ Moore active. I know Caesar C brought that. Edmonds and Connor both officially active.
So Emmanuel Sanders is inactive?
Inactive, yeah.
So Knox and Beasley move up?
Yeah, Gabriel Davis too. That makes him pretty much the number 2 over there.
Who's the better receiving running back in Buffalo?
They don't really. Maybe Breda. Maybe they work Breda in. I don't know. I wouldn't. I would say it ups Knox and like I said, Gabriel Davis if you're looking for maybe a daily play.
Okay. Yeah, as a cheap addition that might see some of those targets that get taken away. Yeah. Yeah, 'cause that's a late game, and they need this game. But Buffalo can't afford to lose another one.
No.
They really can't, especially be behind New England now. New
England lost last night.
They have a chance
and
to move up.
That New England loss definitely fired that team up last night. Definitely fired the fans up around here, I'll tell you that, as far as
We can get back
because they got a lot of slack when Indy came in here and
right.
Ran all
and
over.
torched. Yeah.
And then Indy went up there and torched them. New England. Well, actually,
Indy's looking like the real deal, man. Indy's I don't know. They're going to be interesting to watch come playoff time.
I think me and GTA were the only two that picked Indy in the weekly picks to beat New England too. We saw it coming. Brain power.
I don't know how new this is, but Jamal Williams is officially out for the same reason as last week. He can't. He's not
Really?
smart enough to pass that test.
Oh wow.
And while it looked like Jamar Jefferson was supposed to get the bulk of the carries last week, it was the guy named Craig Reynolds. And it looks like he's going to be the heavy carry guy this week.
Okay. Thank you for that update. Morning, Toxic. Good morning.
Toxic. Good morning, Toxic.
All right, let's just bust through this and have some fun the rest of the day. So we had Josh Allen last week, picked up 30 points. Where you guys at with Josh Allen going forward? Nunya's having a big old drink out of that. It was froze there for a second. Where you guys at with Josh Allen going forward for the rest of the season? They're fighting for the buys, like every other team is. They want that buy. Josh Allen's going to play every single freaking snap going through, minus an injury. Do you see him putting up 40 points every single week for the next 3 weeks? I guess that's a good question.
Um,
I'm sorry.
Winning, they can't run the ball.
Yeah, right.
yeah,
He's
that's the thing.
runner.
He's it's scary because his running is what's keeping him fantasy relevant. It hasn't so much been his arm, except for in some blowouts where he's had big games. Now he had a big second half against Tampa. He can still do it. I think Sanders being out hurts him today.
Sorry, I said 40. I meant 30. I didn't mean to make numbers unrealistic there. Around 30.
But I think just as easily, I think Allen is the type that can get a little bit over energized and balls can start sailing, and whether that leads to interceptions. Also, he starts trying to do too much with his legs and balls start slipping this time of year. I still like him. I still think that if you have him, you drafted him high and you're still riding him through the playoffs. And if just looking at the situation that they're in, you love where they're at. They're battling for, the AFC East. They're battling maybe for a playoff, maybe for a wild card. You don't know at this point, but they're definitely going to be. Allen's going to be fully engaged right through the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah.
Which I think is the same for everybody up there. I think they're all in good spots. You want quarterbacks on winning teams this time of year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd be interested in looking at what their schedule is. But
They got New England next week. They got Carolina today. New England.
remaining
I think
3. Patriots, Falcons, Jets after Carolina today.
So after Atlanta, a pretty favorable schedule.
To light
The
up
last 2
offenses and
games.
put himself in a nice position. Yeah, but they got to win that Patriots game. That'll be hard to put up 30 points in that Patriots game.
It's going to be a good one.
Where you at, Nunya?
They can't run the ball, like I said earlier. I mean, he is their run game, which, depending on your scoring system, I know it's treated vastly differently in a bunch of leagues. Running sometimes has bonuses, different type of bonuses. He is their running game. That New England loss last night has to be energized.
Yeah.
I'm more bullish on him now than I even was, 2 days ago.
Okay. Because of that loss in New England, put them in a situation where they can still climb out, and that might make them thirsty again. Yeah. I like that. I definitely think that's a good idea to look at it in that sense, because they tend to be one of those teams that they go on slopes or like slides where they'll fall back and they'll step away and then they'll regain themselves again and get on a run. Hopefully, maybe again, I'm a Chiefs fan, but I still like seeing good games, so I want to see them get into the playoffs and play meaningful football. I want to see them lose to the Chiefs in the AFC playoff game, but
Well, I kind of want to see if they're able to, if they stay focused on this Carolina game and they're not
Right.
looking forward to New England already.
Yeah. because their game plan for New England, maybe McDermott in his new role is like, oh, I got to worry about that New England team. They beat us bad the last time, so we got to, you're right. That's a good coaches won't allow that to happen, and if it happens,
I
they
agree.
got a problem. Yeah, you don't want to see him slip on Carolina this week. Tom Brady, 30 points average the rest of the season. You think that's a safe bet? I think we all agree that's probably a safe bet with that offense and anybody they play.
I think so. I think he's, we've talked about this before. They don't, Tampa's not Tampa, Tom Brady, to be more specific, isn't the guy that lays off late in the year. They tune up.
No, and he just wants to make that record book. You see who that guy is. He just wants to make it further and further away that nobody can reach him ever.
And let's look at their matchup. They got the Saints tonight. Then they have in Carolina, at the Jets, and then back home at Carolina. So they got Carolina 2 out of the last 3 weeks.
With no real running back to worry about, and no quarterback to worry about. They are boat racing. I will say this, if Tampa Bay locks up in that Jets game, I don't see Tom Brady playing that final Panthers game.
Possibly.
But most fantasy leagues are already over.
League,
yeah,
over.
You're correct in that sentence. Yeah. I don't know
But
if it's possible for them to. Can they lock up the next 2 weeks?
They can. But they would need. They would need 2 wins because they're tied with Arizona and Green Bay. They would have to win 2, and
everybody else would have to lose 2. Yeah.
Which is possible. It's anything's possible.
But that would still leave 2 games remaining, which could. I don't think they can lock it up in 2. It would probably take 3.
No, yeah, exactly. So I think that Week 17 game, he's going to be in regardless. Against the Jets, though, that's
how long he might be.
Yeah, and then it's in New York on January 2nd. If it's a bad weather game, do we just see Leonard Fournette go mad in that game? You know what I mean? Do we even see Ronald Jones get involved if it's a snow game or something? Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm sure if it's a wet game, they don't want Ronald Jones anywhere near that ball.
Yeah.
It's something to do with that name Jones, like Daniel Jones can't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, it's all the Joneses. It's keeping up with the Joneses.
And then I think Aaron Rodgers is in the exact, pretty much the exact situation as
the rest of those 2.
Is Brady. Yeah.
We're getting to that point in the season where it's, will they play? How much will they play? And what can we look forward to for the rest of the season? You guys know me. I'm an Aaron Rodgers holder. I have him in 3 of my leagues. He's finally starting to pick it up. He's been slow all season, kind of like Patrick Mahomes, where he's been 20-point game, 18-point game. He's finally starting to hit his 30-point strides. It's a little late in the season, but I do see it going forward for the rest of the season. I think he'll be around that 30-point range, and I think that because of the way we're just talking about them, same boat, he'll play. He's going to play.
Yeah, and it's funny how Aaron Rodgers quietly puts up the numbers that he puts up. You know what I mean? Because like you said, he's...
Those are...
By Aaron Rodgers extensions, he got off to a slow start. You know what I mean? When you look at him, though, 3,200 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Like, the numbers are still just ridiculous that he puts up.
Before we move into projections, would you say that Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Kyler Murray, who's the MVP out of those 3?
I would say probably Brady.
Yeah, I mean,
44
the beginning of the season, Murray lit it up, but I think he missed too much time.
Yeah. I think he missed too much time, and I think maybe the game that Aaron Rodgers missed would be the difference.
Maybe. Would you say there's any other player who deserves MVP over that?
Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
Yep, took the words out of my mouth. I would say, I would say Jonathan Taylor. Definitely. I don't know if I'd put anybody else maybe in the conversation.
It's possible.
Think of anybody?
Yeah, I can't. Off the top of my head, maybe.
How are they gonna look at it this year if you're voting Do you hold injuries or games missed against people? You know what I mean? Because not too many stars out there made it through this whole season without missing a game, whether it was for injury or sickness or whatever the case may be.
How many wins do the Browns have without Myles Garrett?
True.
He's made some game-changing plays that have cost major points. I don't know if he could say they're game-winning plays, but these game-changing plays for sure.
Oh, big time.
But yeah, there's a couple players out there that I think could be representatives for MVP, but I think it's one of those three quarterbacks. And I think Kyler Murray, like Nunya said, kind of fell off because of the injury time. So right now, I think it's between Brady and as much as I want to say it's Jonathan Taylor, you just don't see running backs getting that award very often. He might get offensive player.
You don't, yeah.
But I think it's.
I think it boils down to what happens over the next 3 weeks. You know what I mean? Because all these MVP candidates have put their teams in position where, you know, yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, they can win because of it. Especially in Indianapolis situation where they shouldn't be where they're at. When all on paper and everything, right now, Indianapolis should be about a second or third place in that division. And, yeah, they should be riding right in front of Jacksonville in my eyes. But they're up there. They're doing it. So
big games they won were on Jonathan Taylor's back.
All of them were on Jonathan Taylor's back, yeah. I don't think I've seen Carson Wentz win one game for him.
No, and he hasn't had to of late.
Nope. All right, so let's roll in projections here.
I think Frank Reich might deserve Coach of the Year too. Yeah.
I was going to ask that, but I wasn't sure if it was kind of sealed up yet. There's some other interesting things. I like what Cincinnati's doing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good stories out there.
I think if Cincinnati can win that division, that coach definitely has to be in least talks for it, because that's a hard division.
National perspective, maybe. Around here, people want Zac Taylor fired.
Oh.
They think the team's way better than he's allowing him to be, and they think he's holding him back.
Interesting.
So all the local media, all the sports talk radio, they think that team should be way better than they are, and he's the scapegoat right now.
Very interesting.
That is. I'm gonna keep it.
Is Lamar out today? It's a big question. It's looking like he's out. They're not saying anything. Unfortunately, that's not a 1:00 game.
Andre, Big B42, what's up, guys?
Morning.
Andre came in and played some poker last night.
Oh, nice.
Caesar's saying it's official. If you saw it, Caesar, thank you. Lamar is out.
Lamar is out. All right, so we know now. Thank you for that. With the playoffs on the line, I am terrified of starting Edmonds. Might have to roll with Sanders.
I got Edmonds going in my big money league, but it was Edmonds or David Johnson, so I didn't have a lot of.
I think that news on Connors being gimpy is a good output for it to go with Edmonds.
I do too, and we've talked about this before with running backs. If they brought Edmonds out, he should be 100% healthy. We've seen with Arizona especially, they didn't rush Kyler Murray back. I don't think they did that with Edmonds either. I think this extra week was kind of precautionary. And as good as Connor was, I think Edmonds is still gonna maintain that starting role when it's all said and done. But we got to see.
Lieutenant Likes coming out of lurk mode here. Hello, Adam. Hope you're having a good one. He's got a question.
I go Michael Carter there.
That's that question that's being revisited from earlier today. That we didn't know the information on the Jets running back situation, and now with that Jets running back situation, and knowing that Devonte Adams is going against a weaker cornerback, I'm gonna probably lean more towards Carter now, because I think Green Bay's game plan changes. They can throw the ball more. They don't have to beef run it. And I think A.J. Dillon has less use now in the Green Bay game, so I'm going to squeeze towards Carter on this one now.
Like Carter as well, that news of a healthy scratch, like sometimes, especially at running back, you're first game back from injury, I'm a little nervous. They only have 2 active running backs. There's a healthy scratch of a guy who has carried the load.
They like what they saw.
That tells me they're not worried about Michael Carter being able to carry the workload, or they would have Ty Johnson active.
It was Carter and Wilson back in the day. Although Zach Wilson hasn't been great, there were a couple games where Michael Carter got 8 and 9 receptions.
Okay. So it's possible yards and receptions. Yeah. I like that. Yeah.
Big B says Roethlisberger or Hurts. I'm probably gonna go Hurts there.
Just at rushing yards alone, maybe.
What's his health? Is he back? He's good to go.
I don't know what to expect out of Pittsburgh. I wish I could tell people I know what to expect out of Pittsburgh. I can't tell you. I think that team turned on Roethlisberger. I think they 100% will not go over the middle for that guy anymore. They're not going to go out of their way. If he can throw them a ball that allows them to get their records and their points up, I think they'll catch it. But I saw alligator arms last week like I've never seen before. And I think if he throws people over the middle, they're just going to let that ball flop, move on to the next set of downs. That's why I'm big on Najee Harris, because I think Tomlin knows that. And Tomlin's just going to be like, we're only going to throw in situations that we have to throw. But we'll see. That's my opinion. Nunya, where are you at on that?
I'm sorry, I was completely
Roethlisberger or
trying
Hurts?
to chase.
Sorry.
Where is Hurts physically? Because I'm thinking we found out that Janoris Jenkins isn't playing, makes it a little easier for Roethlisberger. Is Hurts definitely good to go?
I think Hurts is
looking
playing. I'm
for
pretty
that
sure
right
he's
now.
playing.
And I was chasing down what I saw with Caesar saying he thought that Odefro said Lamar was out. He didn't confirm it.
Oh!
All I can find is the same 8:50 a.m. this morning from Schefter saying it's highly unlikely he'll play, but we don't have any decision.
Yeah, I think I read that Schefter tweet, but I'm sorry if I misled anyone. I did not mean to make anyone believe that Lamar was out. I thought we were reporting what Caesar was saying there just a couple minutes ago. So if I led anyone to believe that Lamar was out, I'm sorry about that. Very much so. I don't want anybody missing a roster. We had told Bulldog early on to watch out because of that update, so I do remember that. But
Be careful with Pollard, Lieutenant likes. They got a third running back, what's his name, suiting up that they said's going to see some carries.
Yeah,
Pollard's playing, but he's banged up.
Everybody's banged up.
And Jalen Hurts he's fully expected to play after getting in full practices on Thursday and Friday. That's still the expectation for Tuesday's game, so Hurts should be good to go, but obviously stranger things have happened. But I would go with Hurts over Roethlisberger if they're both active, especially now Hurts has a little fire under him with the way Minshew played in his replacement.
Adam, reports out of Dallas are they're going to be doing a 3-headed running back down there today. So be wary of that. Pollard's the injured one of the 3.
Yeah.
So he'll probably get the least amount of carries or at least be a decoy. He may not actually get real plays. All right, so we did.
And
Josh.
really, the only one we didn't, the only one we really haven't talked about on this list today is Prescott.
Yeah. We've kind of covered all of these guys, yeah.
I think the wild card with Murray today is how long can Detroit stay in the game?
True.
You know what I mean? And then do they want to see what kind of two-headed monster running game they can establish with Edmonds and Connor both back in the backfield together?
That's a good point.
I still would, Lieutenant likes. I would take Carter. I mean, there is a chance that Miami defense isn't they're no slouch, especially in a divisional game. But I think he's going to see the bulk of the carries. I'm sure he's going to catch a few out of the backfield. I think you're getting the bulk of the workload with Carter.
Agree.
There is a question.
On it.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say real quick about Dak Prescott. I touched on it earlier. The entire Giants secondary is out. They have one cornerback and two safeties that are healthy and active. They're in really, really, really bad
situation.
Test.
Yeah, I can't believe they allowed this one to go on, honestly. With all the other movements, why didn't they move this one? But maybe they couldn't get them all back in time anyways, so they just wanted to let it play. But I do want to pose a question to you. I know you guys rip on Baker Mayfield. I am the same way that you are with Baker Mayfield with Dak Prescott. I see nothing. I don't like anything I see from Dak Prescott. I see a horrible quarterback. I know everybody's all over him, but I don't understand why Dallas paid this guy. That's just my opinion on viewing him. That's not anything. But what do you guys feel Dak Prescott leading the Cowboys into a playoffs? How do you feel about having him on your playoff roster? There's points there to be made, but I just don't have any faith in that guy at all to put him as my playoff roster quarterback in a fantasy. I'd like to see what you guys both think. I'll start with Nunya on that one since he knows the NFC East a little bit better.
Yeah, I think he's definitely lucky that Jerry likes to play with toys and should have drafted other players when he just keeps accumulating offensive weapons. CD Lamb absolutely shouldn't have been his and was great and is great. There's a couple other ones, so I think he's lucky there. He's lucky that the NFC East is just in a down period while he's here. But they scheme. I mean, before he got hurt last year, he was averaging 350-plus yards a game. They scheme for him to throw it. They do get involved in it. So I wouldn't want him as my quarterback as a fan, but fantasy, I don't hate him.
Okay. I know MIA, you do like Dak. I know you've mentioned this before. You are a fan of Dak.
He rosters him.
Yeah, he hasn't lived up to maybe the expectations this year, but I still like him. I think he kind of has that Josh Allen where you're going to get some rushing touchdowns. You know, he's not really a running quarterback, but those weapons, you know what I mean? Like Nunya said, it's if you're drafting Dak like I did, it wasn't so much just drafting Dak. It was drafting 3 world-class wide receivers, 2 top-notch running backs, what was a great offensive line. So I still got him.
Case Keenum behind that, and Case Keenum's going to look like Dak Prescott, in my opinion. That's what I see. Yeah. I like him.
Me, I'm always pulling for the underdog. Like, I wanted to see him make a good return. I don't know. I
see a guy that runs the ball when he shouldn't run the ball, takes the big hits when he shouldn't take the big hits, tends to throw some decent balls, but then every once in a while he lets one get away from him too, like some of the other quarterbacks in the league. I just don't see a superstar in the making.
Happy guy. Oh, just a happy guy. Oh, just a look at that happy the happy dog. Oh, just
and what we've seen win games for them this year has been their defense.
Right. Yep. It ain't the offense, it's the defense. Yeah. Good point.
But it's Kansas City the same way. Like, obviously their offense is starting to click now, but there was a few games there when their offense was and their defense stepped up and won games for them. So it's true. Yeah. I think Nunya made a great point, though. It's tough to gauge because the NFC East is in such a kind of a down couple of years here.
But even when Dak's been there through all of the Napoleon Dynamite quarterback years. He was there for the Foles Super Bowl, Wentz Super Bowl. He was there for the Bears changing of the guard. He's been there for Detroit's now ridiculous 15th season in a row. So Dak's been there for 5 years now. He's been there for a little bit.
Yeah, he's been there for a few years.
He's building on that Romo record of I can't get past his first playoff win. He's starting to build on that. He should be.
Yeah, this is his 6th year.
Okay. How many NFC Championship games has he been in?
How many I don't think he's been in any, has he?
And Zeke is in his 5th or 6th year. They've had
all those Cowboy fans. How many playoff games have they played in this millennium?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a bitter Giants fan, but come on.
Mm-hmm.
Adam E. Lieutenant Likes coming in with that super chat. As always, every Sunday, you guys amazed dogs. That's what I'm talking about. Lieutenant Likes.
Thank you so much,
my
Adam.
brother.
Oh, excuse me. I got the yawns this morning. Stayed up too late last night, y'all. Stayed up too late.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But we made it. We made it here this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being here, Big B42. We love you.
Sports nutritionist, Robin, whatever, Toxic. All you guys, everybody came through, hit that like button. We 100% appreciate it. We love y'all.
Yes, we do. And all you guys that were involved last night. I hope I wasn't ignorant in any way.
No.
On the members only stream. I had a few Chardonnays. What of it?
No.
Or a few Labatt Blues.
Yeah, there's a big difference between Chardonnay and La Black Bleu.
They both hit me the same way, man.
Right?
That Canadian beer is like moonshine.
It's just something different in your system.
Yeah.
Just twist it all up. The F-bombs
Tag
flow
rock,
from the
okay.
Canadian beer, I'll tell you that. The F-bombs flow.
Interesting when you decided to clarify. Is that okay? 100.
100 F-bombs in. Was that one all right? I'm not effing sure.
I cut Nunya off like 4 times in a row. And then then my favorite moment of the night was facial expression when you cut Birdie Hunter off, Odie. right after I said it, I'm like, all right, Birdie's trying to say something, guys. I keep cutting him off. And as soon as I said it, you did it. And the look on friggin' Nunya's face was amazing.
Oh, what was Birdie talking stuff and I was trying to help someone get in the game or something? Because I knew there was one point last night where I was trying to help Robert get in the game and like Robert was answering and you just like, all right, Birdie, what do you got here? And it was like, oh, all right, well.
It was just perfectly timed.
Yeah, it was all timed. It was good timing. We were having fun. That's the best part. Everybody was
That's
just
all
having
that
a good
matters.
time. Canadian Chardonnay is the La Black Blue of maple syrup. But no, thank you everyone that joins us in here today. Makes it back every week. We love you guys. We appreciate it. All them likes and subscribes.
Yes, you guys are all awesome.
MIA, you always have a smile on your face, and we love it. Drunk or sober. That's right. Yesterday
I had permagrin.
You had.
And you.
There was a point, dude,
We're
where
all American.
you look like
Thanks, Caesar.
You look like the Joker had sprayed you with the face spray, and you were just like, love that Joker. Yeah, it was frightening. It was kind of. You look like the guy off of Cobra. You know the.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yep. The bad guy off Cobra.
Ben Matt from the left coast. Morning.
It was fun times last night.
Man.
Loki, thank you
Always
again.
is.
Appreciate that. I really do appreciate
Party
it.
never stops here at Bulldog Trading.
Never.
There's something going on every day, man. I love it. I love it.
Be rocking and rolling all night long. I think that's how that Fonzie song went, right?
Something like that.
You know, you remember that song with the 7 little chipmunks? that old wives' tale your grandma told you about.
Can't even get your heart rate going in 6 minutes.
Uh-oh. I just killed... No, I didn't. All right. Making sure. Didn't mean to yet. Didn't want to do nothing wrong.
About to stream early and kill it early? Is that what's going on?
Jen Matt, stay tuned for those tour dates. Gotta iron out some details. And I'll get that rock band tour started.
Rocking and rolling all week long. Uh-oh. Nunez. There we go. All right. Well, with that being said, I'm going to shut this bad boy down. I'm sure MIA has a Raiders party to join. Or wait, no. You don't have a Raiders party to join.
I don't play till tomorrow. Well, I got a cleaning party and do some
Took
stuff.
your guys' camera away. That's weird.
Kick this right off. Oh, look at there I am.
Okay,
Little guy.
you got my Nunya private messages on the screen there. What the heck? That's weird. Zoom in, read what you want, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah. Wow, I can't believe
Alright,
Nunya was
no,
sending you his bank account information like that.
I know. Nunya, what's that Yori wallet address again? Yeah, go ahead and send that to
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm. It's my 20 keywords in order. Go ahead. Take all my money.
Lemon
That
splash wallet. Lemon splash. All right, fam. We love you guys. I'm gonna take us off of camera here and start doing the swap over to crypto. Again, we really appreciate all of you guys joining us, and we'll see you guys next week, and we'll be around in the Discord for football, or at least some of us will be. Nunya or MIA. Actually, there's a big schedule tomorrow, isn't there? It's Birdie, MIA, Nunya, or Birdie, MIA, Adam handing off to Nunya tomorrow, right? Do I got that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So Monday's going to be a fun day, and it'll be a fun couple days, and then we have that short week on Friday, if I remember correctly. I think I am.
Yeah, got to finish out this year strong.
Yep. All right. Let's have a good one, guys.
Much love, fam.
Yeah, guys, love you, fam.
Enjoy football. We'll talk to y'all a little bit later. Thanks, guys.